live. Go to the dashboard. We are live. Let me pull it up. Go through a little sound check of 1, 2. Yes, sir. Right there. Public, yep. There we go. Testing. I should be live. I'm gonna go ahead and put the YouTube on there. Get this countdown going. I ain't even gonna let the countdown go. I just gotta go for the aesthetics. All right, let me see. We should be live on here too. Yep, live on here too. Heart and helmets. Take this. Nope. I want to share it. Copy here. There we go. There it is right there. That's the YouTube link. What's going on, Chris? Can you hear me good? Loud and clear. You can hear me? All right. So we're going to get a couple of people in here, get this going. Oh, let me pull this up so that way I have some. We can keep this uniform, keep it right, stay on task. Let me pull it up. Let me see. Might as well. There we go. Here we go. Let me go here. There we go. There we go. Here we go. We got 5 in there. So I'm about to go ahead and get this going for a second. All right, there we go. So how's everybody doing on today? It's Coach Dunlap, man. We got another little rendition of Heart and Helmets, a little special episode. Wanted to get my man on here to talk about a few things. My man, Coach Walker, talk about a few things. It's a good brother right here. Wanted to get him on to talk about a couple of things. We're going to hit a couple of things on the helmet. We're going to talk about the state of youth football. We're going to talk about youth and NIL and the opportunities and how they could distract or enable the kid. We're going to talk a little bit about social media. The grip that it got on the youth. We're going to talk about the envy of the game and a couple of other things. We're going to hit a couple of hot topics, but we're about to go ahead and get this going. Let me go ahead and try to get my man in here. I'm going to go ahead and unmute him so he can talk and talk. So I'm going to get him on.
Can you hear me?
Yes, sir. We can hear you. We can hear you. Can the chat? Anybody in the chat, can y'all hear? Can y'all hear Coach? Can y'all hear Walker? Can y'all hear him?
Coach Chris just called me right before you brought me on. It kind of threw my it threw my little it threw my I'm frozen on my end, but I know you can hear me and I can see me on the live broadcast, so I know I'm
okay.
I know I'm on. So yeah, and I can hear you live on time.
There you go. Yeah. So let's see. So it dropped, man. It said 13 at once when it dropped down to 2 people. I don't know what happened. What happened? Somebody kicked Chris out?
Yeah, probably.
We got haters already, man. They trying to stop the live. All right, Taj, you can hear both. All right, man. So Guess we're gonna wait for a couple. Oh, no, you good, you good, you good. So we're gonna wait a little bit, give people a chance to get back in here. Chris is sharing it around. Gonna share the live out around a little bit. You know, because what happens is we start too quick, people will come in and be like, "What happened? What happened? Wait, did he talk
Yeah,
about this? Did
going
he say
back.
this?" And it's
Yeah,
like, come on,
yeah,
man. Let's get this going, man. So, you know, we just got out of high school practice, getting ready for scrimmage week. You know, it's scrimmage week for us, getting ready for the real deal. I can't wait.
yeah. That's always a good time, man. I remember that week. That
Yeah,
week is like where you start to see, okay, what we really looking like. How do we respond to this? Are we making the adjustments that we said? Are we executing the game plan? Evaluating players. That's
yeah,
always the best part, man. The foundation.
yeah. That's the smooth part. That's the smooth part. Is just finding out who can do what and how they do it, and that's the key, man. So we're gonna give people a little time to come on back up in here, share the live around, get it going a little bit. Let me see. Maybe I could get a couple of things in here. There we
Actually, let
go.
me share.
There
I'm
we
gonna make sure I'll share it. I want to make sure this don't change anything. Hold on, I'm gonna share it too.
go.
Okay, yeah, I didn't get booted or nothing.
Yeah, your camera just went down, but I think it's just because you're using something else. Once you get back to it, it'll pop back on.
Yeah, I'm about to send it real. I'm just gonna send it out. I'm gonna share it on my page.
Yeah.
Can't be live tonight. I shared it on that page.
Or did you
Okay.
get a chance to hook your headphones up?
No, I didn't. Can you hear me though? Pretty clear.
I can hear you, but I can hear myself.
Okay, let me
I
see if
think
I could
I
get
think
you.
that's somebody was like something sound muffled. I think that's what it is. I can hear you and I can hear
Okay, let me fix that.
myself
Hold
coming
on. Let
back.
me fix.
Nah,
Oh
we
yeah, I
gonna
got my
test it.
glasses. You'll be straight.
All right.
All right. While they join, I see it's coming up.
Here we go. I'm working with one screen tonight, man. I normally got two going.
Oh, you only got one, huh?
Yeah, I got one tonight. I'm
Okay.
just arranging everything, but we good.
All right, there we go. So that should be much better, right? Because now I'm through the glasses, so
Yep,
you shouldn't be able to hear yourself, right?
that's
Okay, there
perfect.
we go.
Yep, that's perfect. That's perfect. Can everybody hear? Yes, yes, everybody can hear. I'm getting a lot of thumbs up. All right. Let me get that picture back up. There we go. There we go, right there. So if you look at the thing that I sent you, that's the order I'm gonna go in. I'm gonna go into
Okay,
I'm gonna
yeah.
take that. I'm gonna use that same order, um, with the questions. Get it going like that. Oh, let me pull. I forgot to pull up the chat for YouTube. There's probably people on YouTube
Oh,
that's like, "Hey, bruh. There we go. I got it.
yeah.
There we go.
That's the chat I'm in for you.
There we go.
Okay. Did you get a yo? I put a yo on there. I'm seeing if you got the yo.
All right. Let me see. Yep, I got it. See the thing
Okay,
with
so
these.
that's the
See, I can
chat.
add it like that. You see what I'm saying? Like if you look at the screen, I can add the chats on YouTube on here, but I
Oh,
can't
look,
do it on
look,
Facebook.
look at look at you, fancy. Then tell her, then tell everybody to go to YouTube. You know what I mean? Tell them to
Yep.
like and subscribe and do all of that. But
Yeah.
you fancy with it.
Man, I'm trying, man. I'm trying to get like it's all about platforms, right? You know, it's all about platforms. It's all about
Yeah,
being able to stand up on your box and talk, and let people hear you, So we got 9 people up in here. I don't know. I ain't seen them yet, but it's people up in here. Thumbs up, man, if you can hear us. I see Tasha. She can hear. Chris can hear. Um, Everybody can hear us.
perfect.
Let You see, it's like a 20, 30-second delay. What we talking
Yep.
about, Kev? Like, what we talking about? We talking, Kev. We talking. There we go. All right, see Diana. Okay. All right, cool. So, all right, got my man Coach Walker on here. We're gonna get this going. We're gonna make it smooth, keep it going. Got my man Coach Walker on here. I'm gonna let him go ahead and introduce himself for those that don't know who he is. Like if you watch this on a playback, it's crazy. I had somebody hit me up from Africa, and they was like, "Hey, I like your podcast. I'm gonna subscribe." So that's why I like to be like, go ahead and introduce yourself because you got people that you know what I mean that don't even know who you are, but they like the conversation and they like what people be about. So go ahead and introduce yourself, man.
All right, that's pretty cool. My name is Coach Devon Walker. Grew up in Compton, Long Beach area, made it out of there, and went to college. Was a Division I football player back in 2007. I was a free agent to the Baltimore Ravens. That didn't work out. Played arena football for 5 years from where did I go first? San Jose SaberCats. You know what I mean? Then went to Spokane, went to Tri-City Fever, played for Kent Predators. Went back to my college. It was a Division I DB coach, assistant DB coach for a Division I team, and help recruiting coordinator. Then I went and was defensive coordinator of a junior college, coached varsity football for 3 years. Went into youth football because that's my passion. I like to pastor the youth. I like to mentor the youth. I went into youth football. From there, had a little bit of success, blessing a lot of kids. Won a national championship, been to three national championships, won one, lost one, lost two, you know what I mean? Um, Now I'm a 10U coach of the legendary Ducks. I'm also the owner of the Limitless Sports Academy, which is an academy for elementary and middle school students to where we teach them all phases. We bless them to be stronger, bigger, stronger, faster athletes. You have to maintain a 3.5 or above GPA to be there. And we pray there. We learn the scriptures. We do mentoring. We teach stuff like that, health, nutrition. And instead of being in a traditional school, they're homeschool athletes. They sit where we're at, and they get a little leg ahead of the rest of the crew. They're not like public
Yeah.
school students. We get to discipline them and do stuff like that, man. But I'm a father and a husband first, man of God, and that's it.
Yeah, man, I love it, man. Basically, just say I do a lot. That's it, man. I just do it all, man. That's good,
Whatever I
man.
can, man.
Yeah, and we appreciate you with the community, man. The stuff you do with the community and the kids, man, is much appreciated. 1,000%. I know you get a lot of love throughout the city and throughout the towns when you going from here and there. I know people appreciate you, you know,
Yeah, appreciate
and from coast to coach, I appreciate you, So, all right, so let's get into the first topic on today.
it. Yes, sir.
So, and I've asked every single coach this. Actually, every not even well, Squeak was a coach. I've asked every person this that has been on here because that's kind of the meat and potatoes of what I'm trying to do with the platform, is to help California football, whether it's youth, high school, college, or whatever. So the question is, how is the state of youth football since we talking about youth tonight? What's the state of youth football right now? Like if you was looking down and you look and you's like, hey, this ain't it, or hey, this is it. What do you think the state of youth football is?
There's a lot. I mean, it's changed, right? It's
Yeah,
changed. I mean, back when I was playing, I was playing football in the 90s in youth football. You know what I mean? It's different. A
yeah,
little
yeah,
older than
most
a lot of
definitely.
some of the people out there, right? So even since then, even since when I first started coaching, it's completely changed. I'm not one to say, oh, it's terrible, but I'm
Yeah,
not gonna say, oh, it's great. I think there's some things that are great that have changed the game, and then there's some things that have changed a lot. Like, Nick Saban. I know we're talking about youth football, but I think it's the same reason
mm,
why a great coach like Nick Saban was like, hey, this game has changed. It's time for me to step out because it's going a different direction than what I signed up for. I won't lie, I have those moments. I'll be like,
yeah,
man, this ain't what I signed up for. But um it's hard to say that social media has made such a high level impact on the game when it comes to youth football. Believe it or not, it has an effect. it hasn't affected high school football as much as it's affected youth football, because a
Correct.
lot of youth football is on social media. But I also would say that to say that we don't see all of youth football, right? We see the teams that are on social media. We see that we're not seeing it all, right? There's probably a team in San Diego practicing that we don't even think about, and what they're doing is great, right? There's
Yeah.
somebody in San
Yeah.
Jose who's doing something amazing, and they're just having their season, and Johnny is getting developed for high school and it's great. And then you have local team, national team. It's all different, but it has changed. I think with some of the topics we're going to talk about later tonight, I think it's gotten a little bit more selfish, just a little bit,
Yeah.
and some of the main goals have changed. I when I grew up, I was in a very rough area, right? So now I wasn't that bad. To me, I grew up there, right? But even my mom, she tried to move me, even though we're in Compton. I played for Long Beach, Jordan, Pop Warner, right?
Yeah.
And it was a pride in practicing at that park, you know what I mean? And it was like to keep me away from doing other stuff. It was to, it wasn't about, oh, you got to get an offer by the eighth grade, or you got to do this, or you got
Man.
to get these likes and comments. That was never the goal. The goal was, you need to learn how to compete. You need to learn how to overcome adversity. You need to learn how to work well with others. You need to learn how to say yes, sir, no, sir to other people. I mean, a lot of people know my pops. My pops, it's kind of a tough story. Everybody be like, oh, my pops wasn't there. He's alive. He was just doing his thing at the time. We have a great relationship,
Yeah.
but it was just my mom majority of the time. So she was like, you need to learn discipline, character, and morals because you run in the streets. So this is going to be a better option for you. It wasn't about, hey, you need to go to this team because I need you to get 10, 15 touches, or you
Yeah.
got to be on the field this certain amount of plays. I think that's a big area where it's changed, but that's been changed. And then it's just boundaries. Remember boundaries? We don't have that no
Yeah.
more. Remember
There's no more
boundaries?
boundaries. Yeah. Yeah. There's no more
Dunlap,
boundaries.
we used to have
It's just if your car
boundaries
can
to
make it
where
there.
yeah,
That's
it
the
used to be, that address is there, so you got to play for them. I mean, I remember back when I was with the Inland Valley, even when I came back to when I came to Temecula, and we had the Inland Valley Hurricanes, it was like we had kids that should have been playing with us that was going to all these other different teams, and it was just, so boundaries has changed, limelight has changed, the goals have
yeah.
changed, but it's not bad. It's different.
Yeah, it's different.
That's why I try to keep the balance. A lot of people, oh, it's not what it used to be. It's just,
Yeah.
no,
Nothing's what it
it's
used to
not.
be.
Yeah, it's not all bad, but gas ain't the same prices, right? The telephones now aren't. Remember, we had those little rotary. You had to. They don't even know about that. You had to dial
They
each
know.
number and twist it. You know what I mean? So that don't
I think
mean
the
that a
only the
cell
only
phone
number
is
I know, the only phone number I know by heart is my wife number. And that's
exactly.
the only number I
No,
know
but
by
that's
heart.
so that doesn't mean it's bad that you don't know your wife
Yeah.
number. It's just different because now we depended on different things. So that's kind of
Yeah.
those are some of the things that are different. A lot of people are more, since your team, your game, even if you don't want it to be, it's on social media. What happens, games are live streamed. Like, you didn't know about a game, you had to try to get that cassette tape to try to get film on somebody else. But now
Man.
people are live streaming. So we don't really think about all when people say, like, at the baseline, like, oh, football's changed, it's not the same, oh, this is crazy. We got to really go and look at why it's changed and what are things
Yeah.
that's changed. So that's social media has changed. That's my whole point. And with that being said, it's a lot more opinionated. People are doing it for different reasons. So
Yeah.
it's changed, but the foundation is still there. It's just up to the coaches and the programs. But the foundation is still there,
It's
man.
still
It's
there.
just you got a couple individuals on, I don't care what you say, on every team that might be doing it for different reasons, but
Yeah.
the foundation is still there if the coaches want it there, and it's not bad. It's just different.
Yeah. I think sometime, and I'm gonna talk about something that you had brought up about fathers. I think sometime, I think back like when I played, it was a thing of like what you said, single mom, let's get my boy around some strong men so he can learn some discipline and this, right, that. But I talk to my coaches all the time, and I had to sit down and have a real conversation with coaches that I talk to and let them know, like, hey, if that's what you're looking for, this generation of football isn't that. Most of the kids that sign up with you have their dad right there with them.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
they don't need you to be daddy. They don't need you to be daddy. They got their daddy. So they really honestly they just want you to coach them and help guide them in a different way, you know. So I
yeah,
think that part has changed a lot, but we still have those single moms and single individuals that need that. And I feel like when we have those coaches, right? Let's say I have a coach that is good at he's not the mentor. He's just a coach. Like
hmm
he not leading by example. He ain't trying to lead by example. He gonna win this game, and he gonna teach your little baby how to win this game. Y'all don't be like me when you grow up. Just we gonna go out here and win these games, right? So that may work for
hmm
majority of the kids that have that strong structure with their father. But my thing is, what about those 5 or 6 kids that are looking up to you for guidance and they're looking up to you as a hero or a mentor? Like, how are they affected by all of this? Like, when I see coaches, man, I see coaches on videos and they cussing people out and they going crazy, and I'm like, man, I would never, not my son, you know what I mean? Like, and people talking, they think like that, but we got to understand there's 30 kids on that team that made the choice to be around that, so they want to be around that, you know. So
I,
and that's the hard part for me, and not to say that they want to be around it, you know.
yeah,
I think
yeah.
I'll say this, they tolerate it because
They
they
accept it.
know,
Yeah, there you go.
yeah, they accept it, because they know when they get in the car, you be like, hey, you know your coach was out there smoking, right? Yeah, hey, that's not what we do. And that's it. But what about that small group of people that got to get picked up by coach, dropped off by
Yeah,
coach? He hanging out with coach all the time because mom got to work, pick him up, and all of that, man. That's the part of the football stuff that's kind of like, ooh, with me, because I feel like there's still those kids out there that need us, you know, that need us
yeah,
to be
100%.
leaders, and they need us to be men. And you know, you're born a man, right? But you need to be taught how to be a man. You know what I mean?
My God, that's good.
You have to be taught how to be a man. Like, you know, simple things like I said in the last live, like just carrying your shoulder pads, carrying your own helmet. Like I see it all the time. Elementary kids, like I'm the one, man. I'm the one that be telling the mama, like, hey man, he can carry his backpack. Like he can carry his
Yeah,
backpack, right? You can carry your backpack, little man. Yeah, okay, then go ahead and carry your backpack. Like, you don't have to take his backpack and carry it for him. You don't have to. You know what I mean? Like my
yeah,
wife, she's spoiled. She don't carry in nothing. She'd go grocery store. She get out of the car and just walk in the living room. The boys just react. They start running outside like, nah, mom, we got it. But that's what it should be, you know.
yep.
But yeah, man, I think that's hot, man. I think you hit it on the head with that, man. Like I think you hit it on the head with that about the state of youth football and the state
Can
of
I add
football,
one
how it
more?
has its. Go ahead, man.
Another thing with that, when you as you was talking, I was thinking about, how it's changed. Um, I maybe it was there before, but there's a lot more of comparison
Yeah.
because of the social media, right? So it's like I'll use somebody else. Like they might see a team, and because this team is having success, you got the parent or a player or even another coach looking at that team like, okay, that's the way to do it. And like
Yep.
that might not fit. What brought that back to my remembrance is when you're saying like, hey, he might not need that example. He just need him to coach him. But then some other team, he might have majority of that. And I think some people they look at all the way that people do stuff and they think, well, that's the way to be successful. There's one way to be successful. And whether they
Mm-hmm.
admit it or not, even some coaches do that. I was talking on another program and I was like, sometimes coaches don't have their identity, right?
Mm.
And I mean they don't have their identity as a coach. They don't have the identity. They don't have their team identity set, so they just
Yeah.
going through the motion of what works. Not, and that's not negative that happens, but I think they might look and be like, "Oh, I like the way he run his team. I want to do that." Or even things like, "I like the way he like his offense. Oh, I like that they do that." And it's okay to pick things and grab a part and add to. But I think what I've seen more. So again, here's another example. I'm saying one thing, but that don't mean it's the right answer. What
Yep.
I've seen more is I've seen more parents compare, well, oh, I want to go play for that team because they do that, or oh, they're doing
Mm-hmm.
that, or we're not doing this, or that coach is like that, so we're not winning because you this coach is too soft, or hey, we're not winning because our coach is too hard. Like it's a lot of it's a lot more comparison. It's a lot more opinions, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And this is
Yeah.
not negative, but the sometimes because the comparison, you got parents who are not coaches and probably never played the sport, where little Johnny Mom used to be happy that coaches helping them, but now little Johnny Mom is letting the coaches help little Johnny, but got an opinion because of what she's seen the next team do, and
Yep.
y'all not doing this right, or the other way around because this team or this coach is doing what another successful team is doing. She don't know that it's wrong, and she like, oh, coach, you're doing a good job, but it's not. So I think a lot of comparison, a lot of following, and that has come into play. A lot of extra opinions without full understanding, stuff like that has come into play.
Yeah. No, and I agree with you. I tell parents all the time, man, like as long as your baby is getting better at the game, you're fine. As long as he's not picking up bad habits, you're fine.
Yeah,
Your son, your athlete. I've been trying to say athlete. Your athlete
yeah, yeah,
is
yeah.
going to get bigger, stronger, faster, even if he didn't practice, just based off of age, right? Because what I don't like is when, let's say a kid plays for me 1 year, right, and he's not fast, so he didn't play running back, and he couldn't catch, or he could catch, but he just couldn't get open because he wasn't fast or he wasn't
Mhm,
tall.
mhm.
And then he goes to another program next year, and all of a sudden he's a starting running back. He one of the bigger kids, but he didn't went through a 3-4 inch growth spurt and
That's
gained 10
puberty.
pounds. You know what I mean? Like, and they like, yeah, coach got him right over there. Coach got him right. No, you didn't. Your genes got him right. That's what got him
There you
right.
go.
He just got faster. Like he just grew up a little bit. But no, so the next topic it says, and I
Yeah.
was trying to get clarification. So if I say this wrong, let me know. Youth in we're talking about youth NIL, right? Opportunities. Do you think youth NIL is a opportunistic thing, or do you think it's more of a distraction
Ah,
at a younger age?
ah. So that's a tough one, and it's good. I wanted to talk about that because it's a tough one, right?
Hmm.
Because you have some people who actually know what they're doing and they're doing it the right way. A lot of people have that, what I would call an NIL dream, and they
Mm.
haven't really looked into it, and they don't have no idea, and they think what they're doing is the right way, and it distracts them and removes their focus. So I don't think it's one way. I think it's very few, and I'm gonna be real with you. It's
Yeah.
very few because they've never been explained into detail. So they think, oh, I'm gonna take videos of every game. I'm gonna tag this person. I'm gonna get this reshared, and I'm getting exposure. We don't even got enough time to talk about what that truly means. We need a 40-minute segment, right?
Yeah.
But they go, oh, I'm getting exposure. I'm gonna do this. I'm looking out for my son or daughter. Let's say athlete. I'm
Hmm.
looking out for my athlete. So I'm getting exposure by going and paying for this camp. I'm getting this video. He gonna get the followers up and get an NIL. Man, that is 1/5 of what you are really looking for. Like I will say, because I don't want to knock nobody for their effort. So if you're doing it, look into doing it. It is seldom that you just promote your athlete and then you promote them and they gonna just get hit up. It's so many what is it, opportunistic people who
Hmm.
look to prey on you for doing that when there's real NIL agents, but youth football, that's not really gonna happen like that. I know you see a lot of the Duck kids on the battle sponsorship and all of that, but you know how that is done. Like, that's because
Yeah.
you know, Keefe and them, unless they got that connect with that, right?
Yeah.
There's
Yes.
representative, but for people to think that it just worked like that, that's not really true, and you could lose your focus on what's most important, and it don't make no difference if your kid got all these views and tags and it's posted everywhere and they're not really like that. And I'm not saying
Yeah.
that, but I'm saying that's the truth. Now on the flip side, there are some people who have been successful, and
Yes.
some of them, I don't want to say they got distracted, but they have created opportunities. But if you ever talk to those real people instead of just trying to mimic it, you know what I mean? And I don't mean that no harm. It's okay to start,
Yeah. Yeah.
but
Yeah.
instead of trying to, talk to the bunchies and figure out that it wasn't just posting. it's connecting with the right person, doing other stuff to get that, to promote that. You know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean? You have to talk to these people because it's more than that. But to the people who just winging it, yes, I do think because of that it has become a distraction because now the kid who's getting developed and becoming a better player wants to go to a team that's probably less, where they're going to be the same or worse the next year, but they're going to get every touch, they're going to make every tackle, they're going to be
Yeah.
the starting guard and D tackle and get lots of plays, and they're not really looking for development, they're looking for highlights.
They looking for
You know
highlights.
what?
They looking.
And
Yeah.
because the highlights is going to give them exposure and
Yes. Yeah.
and then they're
Yeah.
going to be seen while they're just a youth player, man. Like we got so much time, like it's years to go. And I think for the people interested in that, they need to have a real conversation with the right people who
Yeah.
really know what they're doing, and they can tell them the truth, and then they'll laugh and be like, oh, that's it. And then they can focus on making the main thing. But there are some people, I know they see the Gronks and some other people who are out there, but e- everybody
It's a
not doing that like that. It's a lot
yeah.
more work behind the scenes, and you just got to think about what you want. You got to think about what you want. There are some parents who, um, and sometimes it's uncles, sometimes it's cousins, it's aunties, where they're like banking on that, right? They don't really
Yeah.
got it the best, and they're not in the best situation, so they banking on that. But I get I have some of these conversations with people, and they like, yeah, I want to do that. But if you start building up this name, number one, I want to throw out a free nugget. If you buy in followers and they check that anyway, you not you, it's not real to the people you think you're gonna get these sponsors from
Yeah.
and do all of that or get that. They check that, man, so it don't work like that. And then second though, um, everybody's in a different situation. So unfortunately, coach, there are some people who, since they don't have the best career right now. They don't have that. They're focused on that. But when it comes, they like, oh, I'm gonna build a following. So when he get to high school, he gonna get this, and they thinking about offers. First of all, we don't got time for that. We
Yeah.
don't
That's
even
a
got time
whole
to talk
different
about what offers,
man.
what what offers are and what they do. But they looking at again social media and thinking, oh, it's easy to get a offer, and then I'm gonna get this NIL offer, and I'm gonna go to this school and take that. But they don't do that because of followers. They do that because of film. Those are two
Yes.
different things, and
That's
that's
two
all the
different.
way in high school. I just don't think that should be the focus while you're in youth football. You know what I mean? I'm not knocking it though at the same time because like I said, the people who do it right, it's no need to tear those people down and be envious because that's what they're doing. It's for
Yeah.
some people, it's not for some people. I'm giving my opinion on it. Like I really like it's nothing wrong with celebrating your kid's success. You know what I mean? I think everybody should, create a highlight. Do that. That's a core memory for a kid. Like I wish I could look back and be like, man, I was out there. We was playing against Compton and I bust for 5 touchdowns. That would be cool to show my kids this day. But
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
everything is going to be the motive behind it. But I also would say to the people who be like, oh, that's unnecessary. You also don't want to tear down somebody who's doing it because we don't know their motive behind it. Just because
Yep.
somebody on now here I'm gonna play the antagonist, coach. Just because someone is posting, sharing, and doing all the highlights, that don't mean that their motive behind it is negative or that's all that they
Correct.
care about. That might be something that they just want to share with their child, their family members, and the child might
Fam.
be happy to see it.
Yeah.
It might motivate them. So it's different reasons. So that's why I'm doing it both ways. Like we can't be envious of the kid who got 20,000 followers. Even Axon looked at me like, man, I'm balling. I'm doing all this. How did this kid have 20,000 followers? I was like, I first had to tell him, bro, I be on his head. I was like, be humble. You're not really like that. Like,
Yeah.
there's a lot of things you can work on, but it's hard when you hear everybody else and you good, you good.
Yeah. Yeah.
But then I had to talk to him the reality of those followers are not getting you into college. Your talent is, man. Stay grounded. He's like, I only got 5,000. Who cares? You don't even know these people. You know what I mean? Just do it
Yeah.
for fun
You
and
know what
stuff
I
like that,
tell?
man. But
You know what I tell a lot of athletes about that? I say social media and things like that isn't a deal maker for you, but it can be a deal breaker for you.
that's
You know,
good. Yeah.
and on top of that, and if your social media is done correctly outside of X, not Twitter X, outside of that,
Twitter.
because
Yeah.
that's a whole different science, right?
Yeah.
Outside of that,
Hmm.
if your Instagram or anything like that could be the decision maker between you and another kid that is just like you, that is the
Yep.
same kid just like you, and he may have a bigger following than you,
Yep.
and during that following they may click on a video of him doing an interview and him sounding like something they don't want at their school, and he may
Correct.
lose it just off of that, or he may gain it off because he sound like someone that could represent their school. So I just tell kids, like, treat your social media like a interview, like someone that's making a
Yep.
decision about you is going to see it, like, right. And then
100%.
the other thing I wanted to tell parents, since we're on social media, is just know, parents, the more you post little Timmy, the more the other team sees little Timmy. The more the
Yep.
other coach sees little Timmy. So when
Yep.
you go out to that field, they already looking
Yep.
for number 1, number 7, number 4. Oh, that's him? Oh yeah, we smacking him
Yeah.
already.
Yep.
It's
Yep.
already there. Trust me. It's trust me.
A hundred
It's been
percent.
many other days. As soon as he get the ball, like, oh, that's he ain't going
Yep.
nowhere. I go, okay, all right.
I hear it.
And little boy still get out there and bust for 200 on you. Yeah.
I hear that all the time. Every time we hit the field, even though we don't, all you got is zero. He ain't gonna do nothing. He get shut down, and then he still busts. But no, you right. And I will add to tell the parents this: not only do the other team do it, I gotta say this. If that's what you're looking for, understand it comes with consequences too. When you make those posts, you trying to get likes and clicks and comments, but all those not gonna be the ones you want. You also
Yep.
opening up yourself for opinions. You know what I mean?
Yes.
And people get so sensitive and so quick. Oh, you hating on a child or grown man, or you didn't know. Well, you putting it out there. It is going to come with
Yeah.
opinions. You gonna get scouted by the other team. You gonna give people insight. They gonna look for strengths and weaknesses. There's so many times me and my coaches and looked at. We don't got film, but we looking at kids' highlights and social media to get cues and keys of what they doing. And sometimes the social
Yeah.
media is better than the film because you can hear what they calling,
Yes.
right? But it comes with I just understand when you open up that door, you open up the door for criticism, and
Yeah.
you can't be mad at that. Whether they criticize you for why you posting highlights, whether they criticize somebody not that good, it ain't gonna be all positive. You're gonna have to eat that negative too and have some control. But you
Yeah.
open it up for all of it, and you
You
open up
do.
yourself for a mistake, playing that
Yeah.
wrong song. Seeing the family, I mean, dang, we don't got enough time for that. But when outside of X, they looking at everything. They gonna see, okay, yeah, I see this, but this parent look like they're a problem.
Yeah.
I don't know
Oh,
if I
good
want
good
this
run,
kid because this
Cuzzo.
kid is
Good run,
good.
Cuzzo. Then they
Yeah,
click on
they're like,
whoever said Cuzzo, like, oh, that's how
you
he really
connected
at.
to this. Yeah, you see what I mean? So
Yeah. Yeah.
it's a lot. It's a dangerous game, and that actually segues to the end of what you was talking about too, like with the NIL, even people who trying to do that, and that's another segment because I think that really need to be more of a high school talk. But
Yeah.
NIL is name, image, and likeness. If your name ain't clean, your image ain't clean, then people not gonna want to be like you. They not gonna
Correct.
pay for that.
A
I don't
thousand
care how
percent.
much of a baller you gonna pay. You're not about to represent because we're talking that before motors in every state. You can go to a whack college, but if they got a local car dealership, but they not gonna want their brand attached to you throwing up gang signs, having your pants like
Mm-hmm.
having your bros on there talking about I'm turned, I'm throw, we doing this and that. No,
Yeah.
nobody paying for that. Nobody even giving you a scholarship for that. They not gonna spend $400,000 on your talent if you don't got $400,000 character and grades. But
Man,
that's another
that's a
conversation.
big. That's a whole man. That is a deep conversation. And that's a conversation that needs to be had. I'm gonna try to get. I got Jabari coming up this weekend
Oh
on
yes, sir.
Sunday.
Yes,
That's
sir.
gonna be. I
Yes,
think that's
sir.
gonna be a good one because I want to tap in with him with the Rampage and what they did and how amazing that was. And then I also want to tap in with him about being a father of a tremendous athlete. Of
Oh
a
my goodness.
tremendous athlete, and how it is to tread those waters, to be a good coach and a good dad. Like that
It's tough.
that is, like, it's tough. It is tough, and especially when your son is the one that got to be the one making the play. He has to be the one driving the ship. And then it's like, did you call that because he's driving the ship, or did you call that because he's the best person to drive the ship? You know,
Man,
that's always the question. You know, but all right. So we actually rolled right into the next one, man. Envy in the game, man. So let's tap on to envy and how envy itself has affected youth football. But before we get into that, man, just want to wake everybody up, man. If y'all can hit a like in the Facebook group, you know, it's crazy because we got people in here, and I feel like the conversation is so good that everybody's like just listening in, like they just tapping in. I just want to make sure everybody's still awake around here, man. Everybody hit
let me
that
tap
thumbs
into
up.
it.
Make sure everybody's still here, man.
I'm gonna
In
tap into
Cali,
it too.
no, but it happens. Ryan Clark says, okay, so we still got people tapping in, people still hitting it, tapping in. So we just want to make sure everybody's still be here, moving and going with us, man.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like it is a good conversation. It's a good conversation for youth and coming in for high school and things like that. I feel like it is a great conversation about the transitioning from youth to high school. But let's talk about envy. Let's talk about envy when it comes to sports, period. But let's put emphasis on youth, you know,
Yeah.
with kid on kid action, or even adult on kid action, or kid to adult action. You know what I mean? Like, the envy is real. What's your take on it?
I love preaching, and envy biblically is a sin, right? Because there's nothing good that can come from that. One of my favorite Christian R&B singers got a song called "Comparison Kills," and I think it was just like we were talking about, right? Once you start comparing or looking at somebody, that's where that envy come in. It makes you miss out on that aspect of teamwork and sports and what is it called? Sportsmanship, right? So that
Mm,
means if it's on your team, you're missing out on learning how to celebrate the success of others, learning how to congratulate other people and being a good teammate. If it's on an opponent, or maybe not an opponent, maybe somebody that play your position, maybe even a coach, now you're missing out on sportsmanship, on celebrating other people in general. I think that's huge in the game. You asked me where
yeah,
I don't want to say envy is heavy in the game, but maybe I should have answered with that because like I was talking about comparison, I think that is there. Instead of just being like, hey, Coach Dunlap's a good coach. Man, Coach Dunlap ain't really like that. He this, that. Well, no, you wouldn't. If that was you, you wouldn't be having no problem, and you probably have more errors than Dunlap have. But because it's not
yeah,
you, oh, Coach Walker shouldn't be on that show. Why is he on there? He did. You know what I mean? Oh, why is that kid? Why are they even putting that kid? Like, bro,
yeah,
it's like
yeah,
it's a lot of mama bears and daddy bears, and then it's a lot of coach bears, like my kid and my kid. When we can't celebrate the success of others, like your kid isn't the only one. Like you don't,
yeah,
I don't care. You can go back in any comment or anything. You don't never see me fighting for Axton and saying no, he's this. You don't see Jabari fighting for Jaden saying, "Oh, he's this." You don't have to. So you can celebrate
mm,
the others, and if your kid is there, he's going to be there. And I'm not saying that, but a lot of times it do come from, people who don't know how to correctly handle admiration. That's it.
okay,
Or celebration. I think it's an incorrect response to admiration. Like, I really like what Dunlap is doing, but I want to do my own podcast, so I don't want to celebrate him too much. You know what
yeah,
I mean?
yeah,
His is doing better than mine. So therefore, the way they play is different. Their
yeah,
perspective on other people is different. So you get to high school. It's a lot, man, but it's here. It's here. You know what I mean? Like like I said, I had to check even Axton on it real quick. And he was like, man, this dude is playing like that and he got 25,000 Why does that matter? You just do what you
why
do.
does
If you're
that
doing
matter?
good,
Yeah,
and that's all about what you doing, but you got, I think that comes up a lot. I think it's coach to kid, kid to coach to coach, player to player, team to team, parent to parent, even on the same
yeah,
team, right?
man,
Like we all on a D2 team. We know we all trying to develop, but why is it? Well, how come this person never come out the game, or how come we rotating, or why I can't be the quarterback? Why I got to be a tackle?
yeah.
Ma'am, he he can't throw past 5 yards
He
and
can't, he can't.
that. Like
Well, you can't teach him.
or
You can't teach him, coach.
you
You can't.
like and like we I think it's bigger there more than anybody. I think
Yeah.
parents need to go back to like the good old days when we would celebrate every kid on the team. Now here's the thing, I've been down south a couple times and been to a couple natties and been to YNC. Hey man, they they I'm not saying they don't have it. I'm not saying they don't have none, but what I do respect is, man, they not into all these fancy jerseys. Like, look at Rare Breed spanked us in some practice jerseys, right? They
Hey,
not tripping on
you're
who
not
getting the
lying, man.
ball. Nah, for real, they don't care about the glitz and glamour and all that. And they post what they doing on social media because they trying to rank up, but they not into all that. They have one little
Yeah.
jitterbug. Everybody know he getting ball. Nobody got a problem with that. You know what I mean? They got a 13U looking player. Know he gonna get the ball too and block. They don't got a problem with that. They're not
Yeah.
envious. They're celebrating the success of their team.
Yes.
You know what I
Yes.
mean?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that's as far as the internal. As I looked at all the other top ranked teams that up there in the top six where we're with us, and I'm looking like I always evaluate what do they have, and I see that they do have that. We got that now though, so I'm happy. But I'm not talking about my team. I'm talking about youth in general
In general. Yeah.
outside. I look and be like, man, I don't know. Like people like talking to me, and I'm like, bro, but that's your teammate. Like, or I'm
Yeah.
telling the parent, like, yeah, but y'all need each other. Like that gotta go. You know what I mean? When that goes in the game, or if a coach can get that to go and get everybody to buy in, everybody would be successful because that ain't gonna fly in high school. That's
No.
not gonna fly in
No.
college. Well, I want. Hey, hold on, coach. I want to say that, but that's not true because that's why the transfer portal is up so high. But not just in youth, it's up there in high school now too, and it's definitely up there in college. So
Yeah.
I guess that's just
One
how the game is
one thing I
changing.
can say about high school is
Mm.
a lot of times those decisions are made based on play,
Yep,
more so than glitz, because you
yep,
got to think about when you decide to
that's real.
transfer schools, you got to sit down for 5 games before you can even play. So you got to make that decision, and that's what I be telling people when people transfer. Like, was your situation that bad where you're okay with sitting out 5 games just so you don't have to be part of that system or the part of that problem? And some of the times, yes. So I train quarterbacks, right? I
Yeah,
train quarterbacks Sunday mornings. I have a nice little group. I train quarterbacks. The thing that we always talk about every single week is, hey, coach, you think this is a good fit for me? You think my school is a good fit for me? And trainers, I feel like trainers and people outside of their school can give real feedback. It's not hating. It's
yeah,
nothing personal. It's nothing. It's nothing against the school. But if you have a 6'2" sunshine on your team, he don't run a four
yeah,
three. He don't know, but
yeah,
he got a cannon. He got a cannon. But your offense dictates for you to have a, Lamar Jackson.
yeah.
At some point he gonna have to go. He gonna have to go
That
somewhere
don't
that's
work.
gonna let him play and do his thing to help him get to the next level. You know,
Yeah,
so those are the conversations that we have. But I always tell the kids, like, hey, it's too late. There's nothing you can do about it right now. Let's just get better. Let's get you on the field right now. So what we do is we train on Sunday mornings, and then on Tuesday evenings we do Zoom calls and we talk about we go over all their practice film. I teach them how to make a playlist of all their clips, and I go through and dissect them and help them out to prepare for that week of practice, getting ready to go
Hey,
into the game.
is my man Josue in that?
No, nuh-uh, nuh-uh. He's
Oh
not.
man, I gotta get him.
Yeah,
Gotta get him in that, man. That's my
but but
guy. I
but
said,
but it's yeah, but it's good because one thing that happens is you have a brotherhood of coaches, and I don't know why, but I always seem to get the backup quarterbacks, like, because they seem like the hungriest. They seem like the ones that's like, yo, I'm trying to get. Coach said I need to just fix this. And I'll be real with the kids. I just tell them, like, yeah, coach said you need to fix that, but that looks like it's fixed. So I think coaches he's just wants you to continuously better yourself because, for any program, you got to have a decent backup. And right now, you're his decent
yep,
backup. If you feel like you want to
yeah,
be a good backup, then be a great backup. But if you feel like you're a starter somewhere, then be a starter. Football is a team sport. I'm with that. Football is a team sport, but it's your individual career.
Yeah, especially in high school.
It's your individual career. Now, I'm not telling people to transfer. I'm not telling people to leave. I'm not telling people anything like that. But if you're a freshman and there's 4 other quarterbacks, there can only be 1 quarterback on the field.
That's real.
That's it. Somebody's going to have to convert, or something's going to have to happen. So, we kind of drifted
Especially
a little bit,
with class. No, that's okay. But no, I mean, you football, it ain't as bad because they got multiple things. But I will say, with high school, you also have to consider class, right? So here you are, a junior, and this freshman come in, and he's Lamar Jackson, and you Sunshine on top of that. So the program is already causing for a different type of player, and you got 2 years left.
Yep.
You gotta make that decision and just be like, yeah, this is off of envy, but yeah, you gotta make that business decision and do that.
Yeah.
And sometimes those are tough situations. But this is off topic, but you hit something that a lot of people don't understand, and I'm even seeing coaches. Every person offense doesn't work the same for every person at every position that they've done somewhere else. You hit it, but I hope that didn't go over people's head. Like, if I have a great drop back pass quarterback, but I'm running Army's offense, I mean,
it ain't gonna work.
What does that look like? Like, that's great, but that's not your style. Now here, if I'm running a straight spread offense with no RPO, we drop back. We got the best O line. They can pass block, not the best run blockers, but they great tackle pass block. But I have a quarterback that just can run and he can't throw. It's not gonna work.
It's not gonna work.
You know what I mean? And we just talking quarterbacks, but that kind of work with everything. So even the type of like, here's the biggest one. I'll use me. Like, I do run a spread. I mean, it's no secret. Everybody got film, right? I run a spread. We run a true RPO. We run a true lots of different things, right? So somebody like, hey, oh man, they score a lot of points, so I want to go play for the Ducks and I want to play slot. Hold on. What's Coach Walker's definition of a slot, right?
Yeah.
That's different because you're not necessarily playing slot. I got running backs there that are real athletes to where they're running the ball too. They're getting the ball quick in open space. They're doing a lot of things like that. They're not your typical just, hey, let me just run a route and catch the ball. They got to block. They have to have a high IQ. It's a different type of position, right? So it depends. I think the only person who I still to this day think he's amazing, I think was Calvin Johnson. He came out of Calvin Johnson came out of a school. He came out of a school that basically just did Georgia Tech, I think it was, and they basically just ran a wing T offense, and he still made it to the league for wide receiver because he could block his butt off, and they did the play action, and nobody could stop him. He had a great combine, but
and he had the
work.
genetics. He had the genetics.
Yeah,
too. Genetics help. Genetics help.
That man eye test was off the chart, and genetics is crazy, but it's just not one way to do everything. I'm sorry, that's completely off of all these topics, but it's just not one way to do everything, man. A running back somewhere else, like you got this fast scat back, but here you are going to an I formation offense, man. You better be a power bruiser. They don't want the scat back there, so it's a lot of things you have to look into. I don't know how we got there, but that was a good topic of saying that.
I had a kid that played flag football his whole life. And his dad was one of probably the best running backs in high school in California, like in, I want to say, probably 23, 24, around that time. He went to Mission Viejo. So when we got him, we was just like, great, running back. You know what I'm saying? Like, we like, oh, bet, running back. He came in playing running back, came in doing it. And not saying he didn't do well, but he didn't soar, right? He didn't soar really fast at running back. And I had to take a step back and just be like, Let me see. Let me watch the film. Let me see what's going on. So what you would see was when he got the ball, you can tell he was processing a lot of information.
Hmm.
You have 4 down linemen, 3 linebackers, 2 safeties, all in his face right here. So he's processing all of that information. So I kind of had a conversation with the dad, conversation with the mom, and I said, look, I'm going to bounce him out to the slot. That way,
Yeah.
when I give him the ball, he only see 3 people. And he's been playing flag his whole life. He can make one person miss every single time
Uh-huh.
without a shadow of a doubt. And that boy became one of the best slot receivers. Oh my God, he was untouched. You give him the ball in space, if you don't take him down, Rook, he's out of there, man. Super good kid. He's actually coming in as a freshman this year. He probably gonna be one of the top freshmen out here. Crazy hands. He's
Oh,
gotten bigger, stronger. You know, he had a great holdback year. Like he should come. He should come in doing a lot of damage this year. So it's
that's
it's
pretty
just
good,
a
man.
it's just an amazing thing. And now he's bought in. So now he truly a receiver. Like he cool on all that other stuff. He a receiver. He like I can go. You know what I'm saying? So shout out to that person because they know exactly who it is. But
And shout out to that, hey, shout
yeah,
out to that parent for trusting you, man. You know
yeah,
how many
yeah.
I've gotten. It's a blessing though, but I've gotten so many thank you nows. You know, I had a kid who, when we that year we won a natty, he was a quarterback and he wanted to leave the team at first because we had a lot of quarterbacks. We had some studs. We had, Dash Byerly, who's now at Washington, was at Modern Day, was on that team. Camden
Mm,
Connor came from Paris. He was on that team. Oh, our starting quarterback. I mean, they all. He just graduated from Liberty. Oh my God. Okay, Anthony Quinones. They were all on one team, and they're
wow.
all college guys. And I had another guy. I was like, "Hey man, you could be in the rotation. I know you want to be a quarterback, but you're going to excel at linebacker." And he was like, they
Like
was
what?
dead set on it. And now that kid is college. He playing in college as a linebacker. And another
Man.
kid wanted to play slot. Parent at first didn't want to trust. I'm like, yeah, he should be in this, not just in this system, because at 14 you was different, right? You about to get them
Yeah.
prepared for high school. So now it's not just about the system. It's like, nah, this is where he's going to play. Let's put him at running back. And now that kid just got a Division I scholarship to play running back. So,
Yeah.
that shout out to that parent for trusting you. And I know it's hard because everybody got dreams of their baby and you want to listen to what your kids want to play. But at some point, you're going to have to listen, to the coaches and like
Yeah.
hear them out and have explanation and make sure they're not saying it just because they like, well, I want them
Yeah.
to play here because this fits. Well,
Yeah, no,
why?
no, it gotta fit. It has to fit. It has to fit, and and his dad's a tremendous coach as well too. So once I
Oh, that's
when
dope.
you talk now you can talk to him about football, and then he sees it, and it's just like okay. And then at the end of the day, it's youth. It's not the end all tell all.
Yeah,
It's not the
yeah.
end all tell all. So okay. So the next thing is oh man, keeping football
Okay.
football. Keeping
Ah,
football, man. Like, and we all know what that means. We got
yeah, I
people
knew
that
that was
want to
gonna come.
turn. You got people that want to turn football into the new hood, the new gang. They want to turn football into some rah rah stuff. They want to turn football into, especially youth football. They want to turn youth football into something that it's not, and that is not what we need as a culture.
Not at all.
How do you feel about that? Just and it's worded well. It's crazy. Keeping football. You know,
Well, I mean, how do I feel about that? I mean, I think you just said it right. I feel that.
man.
I feel what I feel. What more do we need to talk about? I think keeping football is the best title, and that's how it need to be. I think the only time you get outside of that is when you forget that and you lose self-control, right?
hmm
Sorry to go Bible, but I can't help it. The Bible says the enemy comes to steal, kill, and destroy, but he comes in through a gate. So you get angry because somebody's celebrating their kid or celebrating the play,
Yeah.
or the game not turning out the way you want it to, and you can't just let that go, or the pride come in or the ego come in. But it's still football. Like no matter what, even if it's same team, disagreements gonna happen, because you've seen all stuff all across the world, man. So, dad don't agree with a coach. It's just you football. This is a tool, right? They're gonna go on and play so much more. so much more and so many new things are going to happen. It's just a tool. It ain't that serious to try to square up with a coach or do something like that because the coach don't want your son or said something about your son or criticized or you didn't get the right response or didn't play him. Bro, it's youth football. Keep
Yeah.
it as a sport, as a tool. It's just like, I mean, I hate to say this, I think that it sounds the silliest, but you're not gonna go try to fight the Chuck E. Cheese person because your son put a token in there and he didn't get the prize. And it
Yeah.
didn't turn
Yeah.
out the way you wanted it to. You're not
It
about
didn't
to go
turn out
see
the
the
way you
manager
didn't
and
want
try
it
to
to.
fight him.
Yeah.
It's something that they're doing for recreation. Like you took them to Chuck E. Cheese to go play and have fun, but you know what I mean? They didn't get the high score on the game. You're not gonna try to fight the attendant or go crazy.
Yeah.
You gotta teach it as a learning lesson for your kid. And then on the
Yeah.
flip side, we love the competitiveness in the sport. I think that's part
Yes.
of it, right? That's part of it. You want to teach them how to compete, how to be the best, how to fight for something, but you got to use that learning tool to teach them that, take wins like losses. You teach
Yeah.
sportsmanship and integrity, and character, and we just got to keep it that. And it's sad because we used to be able to be like, oh, Dunlap, I'm gonna blow y'all out. Y'all ain't ready, man. Y'all not ready for this
Yeah.
stuff, man. I'm telling you, you ain't about to get a first down. Nah, we gonna see it now. It gets more sensitive. Like, oh, what you saying? So you talking about my team? So you saying this? Oh, you talking about my kids? Don't like what?
Yeah.
Like the sensitivity is heightened a little bit. And the best
Yeah.
thing we can do is everyone just needs to come into agreement to keep football football. And if that's something we can't do, then maybe it's not for you. It's not for
Maybe it's
that
not
coach,
for
it's
you.
not for that parent. That's just it. Like, hey, maybe or maybe that, and especially when you're playing at the higher levels, it is more competitive. You know what I mean? But even if it's more competitive, it's still youth football. Like
Yeah.
I hate
It's still
this.
at the
Oh,
end of the day, it's still youth football.
local ball, D2 balls, national ball, Pop Warner, junior, bro. I don't care what it is. It's
It's still
still youth
football.
football, and it's a tool to where we gotta fight to be examples. You know what I mean? And what I mean by that is we are men and women, and I could say it's probably normally the adults, right? We men and
Hmm.
women, so we have to fight. We gotta fight that feeling that we have to take it personal, to
Yeah.
take it past football, to take it anything. And that's an easy yet hard adjustment because everybody not like that, and
Yeah.
then some people are just gonna have their moments and they'll be like that, but the wrong moment can always go too far if we don't keep youth football, and that's what
Yeah.
it needs to stay, and that's what it needs to be.
And I just to add on to what you're saying, man, it's crazy because there is a lot of trash talk amongst men. There is a lot of personal talk amongst men as far as when it comes to the youth football stuff and the team names and gang culture and the team
Yeah,
names
yeah,
and
yeah.
and the chants that we do and the way that we operate and the things that we say to these kids or the things that we try to get them to do and the biggest thing that I love to death with when it comes to this youth football stuff is that the game can be as heightened up as you ever want it to be. This can be the game y'all been waiting to play for weeks. The kids will go out there turned up, ready to go. The dads and all the moms, is they all animosity. They ain't talking to nobody. The game will be over, and all the adults will still be arguing, and you would turn and look to your left, and all the kids will be over there
They
playing
playing
tag.
playing with each other.
They over there playing. They over there playing football, and they don't care. Yeah, they care about who just won or lost, but at the end of the day, they just kids. They just having
Yeah,
fun. And like we gotta step back and just let these babies just have fun. Yes, we can make it competitive. Yes, we can try to guide their careers in a certain way and do this. Yes, we can do that, but we can still keep the game fun. And you have to
yeah,
keep the game. And one of the things I tell my high school athletes going into college, and even when they're fighting for starting spots and things like that, is you have to love this game so much to do this game. this
yeah,
this this I haven't been in any other sport, so I can't tell you if this is within any other sport. But if you do not love football, if you don't love it, then stop once you've passed high school. Because once you get into college, and it's a business at this point. It's a
Yep.
business in high school, but not as critical as
High school
college,
now, but not. Yep.
right?
Yep. You're right.
Once it becomes a business, them coaches, them trainers, the staff, they care about you, but they don't care. You are an athlete. They may love you. They love you to death. They love you to death, but they also love their wife and their kid at home that they need to provide for. And they're not going to lose
100%.
games because you don't want to listen. You need to lock in, and you have to find a way to do something that's so hard, fun. You gotta find a way to make it fun. No one wants to wake
Yep.
up at 4 o'clock in the morning and lift weights at 5, or go run 5 to 6 miles in the morning, and then have to be forcefully eat. You have to forcefully go eat the meal that they told you that you have to eat. Jump in a cold tub,
Yes,
have
sir.
a meeting,
Yes, sir.
then go back and do. No, you gotta make fun of it. You gotta have it to where it's like it's fun. you know. And I think a lot of times we see the end zone dances, we see the fun part of it, we see the touchdowns, we see the head top, we see all that, but they don't understand how much work is being put in on the back end by these athletes. We tear down Shador, but we don't know that boy been training since he been a young pup nonstop.
Going hard.
With Deion Sanders being his dad. Like, that alone is like crazy to me, because I'm not Deion and I train. You know what I'm saying? Like, at some point a kid can tell me something, but you can't tell Deion nothing. You can't tell him nothing. It don't matter how big you get. You can't tell him nothing. So, and it's like, how do you not follow that mode? how do you not follow that mode? And one of the greatest players of all time, like, how do you not follow that mode? So, just that alone, but just keeping football, I believe, would take us a long way, because I think football is needed. I think football has changed and altered so many people's lives that for us to sit here as adults and take this away from the next generation would be criminal, because there's going to be a lot more kids that fall to the wayside because they don't have that moment anymore. That's what got me tied into coaching, right? After I was done playing football, and this is a whole nother topic. One of the topics we got to get into is the mental state when it's time for you to stop playing football is very important. That breaks a lot of people. Once you get past that point, it's like, okay, I want to coach. You know what I'm saying? So I go into coaching, and I remember the first game I coached, it felt like I was playing. And I was like, oh, this it. Oh, this it. I'm screaming. I'm yelling. I'm getting the kids all turned up. They like, Coach, you straight? I said, you straight? I'm straight. So it's like you get that feeling. It's like that. You get it. You know what I'm saying? The kids don't understand. Coach is just as jittery and nervous and butterflies as you. We got to call that call. What if that's the right call? Was my scouting report right, or is it wrong? Is it this? Is it that? Are they going to come out looking the same way they did last week, or is they going to change up everything? Did they get any new players? Did this kid do that? It's a lot that's going through our head as coaches. It's not, we're just not out there rolling bunch and drinking and just say, yeah, run, play one. That's not it,
man.
That's not it, man.
Well, make sure you make clarity for the coaches who really coaching. But yeah, I get you. That's not it.
Yeah, it's the coaches that's really coaching, and that's why, like I said, the platform, I'm going to be really strategic on who I have on here, who I bring on here, and who I talk to on here, because I really want people to see that out here is great coaches and great men still out here for these babies and still out here for these kids. Even like the top dogs, they get a bad rap because they got to be the ones making those bad. They got to be the ones telling kids they can't come play for them, or not stealing a kid, but that kid that played in that other program for 8 years gonna now come play for him. That's just because it may just be a better situation.
That's now, man. That's a whole nother. That's another topic, but that also, people get offended and take that to heart. And then they don't want to make football too. Like, that's part of it too. Like, you taking that personal and you not looking at the kid. I mean, I think I had a great conversation with Gilly about that. Like, hey, some people, and it's not that the coach is turning the player away, but some is like, hey, it's youth football. We could coach everybody, and it should.
Yeah.
But after we coach you, the level of expectation for your performance this might not be the best for you. You might want
Yeah.
to go here first and get this together so you can get on the field and get you some development, some playing reps, and do all of this, because this ball might be a little different. And then
Yeah.
there's another kid on the flip side be like, hey, you doing all of this, but you're not growing because you're playing for this and this system, playing against those people where you need to be on this level, playing
Hmm.
against this level competition, getting coached like that, getting used to you not being number one on the team, where you're like, you're not number one. You one A and there's one B and one C that you have to compete against. So do that. But then the coaches, oh, you taking player, you 30 Mac, you this, oh I got you. Like it's football.
Yeah. You
Do we
all in
care
their
about the
inbox.
kid?
You this that.
Do we care about the kid or do we care about strictly our coaching resume and being pat on the back? Like what
Man.
do we really care about? Do we care about the plastic trophy or do we care about, hey, like it's hard for people to support, that's a different and
Yeah.
I'm not saying it because I'm coaching national now or coaching national again, but it's hard for some people who are local to support a national team. It's hard because
Yeah.
that player who should be going national and playing that might be that team's best player or second
Yes.
best player. And instead of letting him be like, you know what, nah, this player deserved to go do that, and he deserved to be like, well, he don't need to do that. We doing that over here. You're not. You know what
Yeah.
I
You're
mean?
not.
Like,
You're not.
and I'm
Yeah.
not saying that I'm not saying that pertaining. I'm saying like that's a hard part. And then it's not about football. Now it's Coach Dunlap trying to mess up my team. Coach Dunlap is
Hmm.
doing
You
no,
trying to
he's
mess my
not.
team up.
Nah, now and that's now it's personal, and now
Yeah.
it's not about football. Now they attack your personal life, or now they saying this and that, and it's like it's just you football, man.
Yeah.
It's
At the end of the day,
keep
it's
it,
just use football.
keep that football. Don't take even if it's just recruiting. Don't take recruiting wrong. Don't take leveling up wrong. Um, don't take losses wrong, man. To be honest, I tell my team we never lose. You know what I mean? We learned two
Man.
lessons already this year. We learned two lessons, and because of those two lessons that we learned, oh, we're a much better team. We're a tough
Oh
team to
yeah, it's
beat.
gonna make you
Why?
better.
Because we played against some high level talent, some high level players that made us learn lessons and learn what our weaknesses is. We learn how to rotate better. We learn how to make adjustments. We learn some, hey, we don't do this right. So we learn. We're not mad at the team because they popped us. You know what I mean? Okay, you know what? Thank you, coach. I'm glad you showed me some weaknesses. We're gonna be ready if we see you again. Everybody
Hmm.
can't do that all the time, though. You know what I mean? Everybody don't have the capacity to do that, and it depends on what you plan for and why.
Yeah.
So
So
yeah, man. But
Ryan.
the future of youth football is up to keeping football football. Oh yeah, I can't see
Yeah.
comments. My bad.
Yeah. No. 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 Ryan Clark. He said, gang culture is already infiltrated youth sports and their coaches.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. He not. I mean, I'm a
Yeah.
he can't deny it. Now here's the hard part. It's not all like anybody anywhere just like was like, hey, we want gang culture part of this. I don't think
Yeah.
no
Yeah.
organization, no coach was like, hey, yeah, this is cool. I think it started by like, hey, you're getting some kids and the kids come with families.
Oh, I can
Are
handle it.
you in a or you in a you in a specific area and you might even have a good coach and the coach might just be come with families or friends and stuff like
Hmm.
that, you know what I mean? And it comes like somebody can pass a background check and that's all good, but that don't mean whoever they connected to not around or in areas that we play. And I think, and
Yeah.
most of the time when we be like culture, it's not, and the worst part is it's not always on the team or in the program. Sometimes it's, I ain't gonna say sometimes, but it be a lot of the spectators.
Yes.
Everybody pop out to
It's not
big
even
games,
part
so
of the team.
yeah, it be a lot of the spectators. Now, are they came to see that team, or they know somebody who played here? Probably they know somebody who played
Yeah.
there. Oh, it's a big 13U matchup, and they want to see this person. But it be people who supporting that team, but not necessarily part of that team, or they're supporting that
Yeah.
player, but they not even necessarily the dad or mom. You feel me? And I'm not saying it's always like that on both sides, but just to answer that, the I don't want to say the culture is California, but I'm saying
No.
that culture that culture is in some cities in California. We gonna act like we
Yes.
ain't grow up in it. Like it's you it that part was part of our culture. We played sideline pop, man. I grew up
Yeah.
right there, right across the street from the Wilmington Arms off of Wilmington and Londra. We played sideline pop, but in the midst of some of the people watching us, it's heavy gang activity. I mean, they
Yeah.
let us play the sport, and nobody was like, "Hey, they want little Johnny to make it out. They want little Walker to come up. He gonna go to college." Richard Sherman came out of there. Everybody in that area, right? But that don't mean it's not there. It was just a respect for the game. It's
Yeah.
always been there. Like we not gonna
Yeah.
act like it just came about. The the culture has always been there. There was just a little bit more respect for those ones who trying to get out the culture. And it was,
Thousand
hey,
percent.
we not gonna mess this up. Let's go handle this after. Or hey, you lucky that we had a game. Now it's no more we you lucky that we had a game. Or you lucky these kids are out here. That has kind of
Now
that
it's I
the
don't care about these
respect
kids.
has
I don't care
disappeared.
where we at. I don't care where we at. I
Yeah,
don't care about these kids. We can get it on right now. We can da da da. Yeah.
yeah. I
Thousand
think I
percent.
think I think it's like that. And then I don't know. I was young before. I live a completely different life. I love my life. I used to be a little more reckless before, but not to that extent. And I think there was always mutual respect. Maybe I am an old head. Like I think last time Gilly said, I'm an unk now. Once you cross
Yeah.
that 40 and above, you're an unk. So maybe, I just don't have that understanding. However, people say, "Oh, now it's infiltrated." No, it's always been there. If we be honest with
Yeah.
ourselves, Lil Bobby on the team, his daddy he had a single mom because his daddy was in the streets, right? And his daddy
Yeah.
was in and out doing whatever. Daddy come watch a game and somebody else is there. That's his little, you know what I mean? It's like,
Yeah. Yeah.
and they get there and then they get competitive, but it was like we gonna let it go because the babies is out here. I think it's
Yeah.
always been there, but I think the respect for it of nah, let's not do that has lowered and the
Yeah.
heat of it. I do believe the ego popped out a little bit more. The pride has popped out. And then on another side, that's not just youth football. You see it just in the streets, in the schools, in different stuff. It is in youth football, but let's not just isolate it there. It's on playground parks for basketball. It's for
Yeah.
a lot of the
Yeah.
stuff we used to do, we can't do. You know what I mean? But yes, it's hurting youth football more than normal. But I mean, it used to be a part where we had candy ladies on the block you can trust. Now you can't eat at nobody else's house because you don't
You
know
don't want
what's
to eat at
there.
nobody's house. Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know what I
Thousand
mean?
percent. Yeah.
Y'all, I don't know. I might be old, but I had a candy house on my street. Now those don't
Yeah. Yeah.
exist no more.
It
You know
was
what
a
I mean?
candy house
People
right
used
there right there by Kelly Park in Compton, right there. It
Exactly,
was right
exactly. We used to
there.
go to the candy house, but now
Yeah.
that don't exist no more because the integrity and looking out for everybody kids and being like, no, it's not the same. You can't trust anybody. So society in itself has changed, but even with that, it's affecting youth sports. I mean,
Yeah.
baseball games, we having issues at baseball games. We having issues at even I mean, not youth sports. We're not talking about in details, but a couple high schools had a couple issues recently, like within the
Yeah.
past couple weeks. So it's like anger, personality, embarrassment, egos have like pushed aside the passes and stalling people out like it used to be.
Yeah.
That's just it.
Yeah.
But we
Thousand
gotta
percent.
change it. We gotta have
Culture has
people come.
always
I
been.
I think we do have to. I have some ideas though. With seeing a lot of stuff. I think the coin toss need to come back to coaches coming together and like being like, hey, this is what I'm looking for. Let's make sure that we be an example. I really think that small little conversations
Mm.
like that. It sounds simple, but I think like small little conversations like that need to be had. Like, hey, bro, like I'm trying to beat you, but let's take this moment and we gonna take this moment and talk. Like I'm gonna yell at you, I'm gonna talk, I'm gonna turn up, but let's make sure we don't keep it past nothing like that. I talk to my coach, my parents, we talk to our parents, and we know that coming in. Like
Yeah.
sometimes it's expected, but then sometimes like it don't hurt to have that conversation.
Yeah. Yeah.
It
And
really, it
sometimes the mood of the or the mood of the or the temperament of the coach reflects not, I'm not gonna say 100%. I'll say about 80%
Yeah.
of the parents, right? You're always, not always, but you're gonna have that one or two parent that they gonna do whatever they gonna do, no matter
Yep,
who's.
that's a
And
fact.
it's just what it doesn't matter. Like if they want to do it, they gonna do it. They don't care about the consequences. They live that I don't care life, right? But
Yeah.
just like with me, we would go play teams and we pull up with my multicultural team. I got kids that's black, Mexican, white. I pull up and they like, oh, we about to smash on these boys. But then my boys would come out, boom, boom, boom. And that makes people so mad. That makes people so mad. And they get to going and going and going. And I keep my composure. I keep my composure. Now my parents is like, hey, man, you sure? We can.
Yeah,
It don't matter. I'm like, nah, we good.
Yeah.
We going to win this game. And we gonna leave, and while they're over there cussing all their kids out, we gonna be leaving. So let's just go handle our business. And then, I came up. I had good parents. Let me see. Change starts now. This positive platform can be used to start these conversations. I agree with you. I do agree. And that's the reason why I'm trying to do this, to have this platform, to have these conversations. I just didn't. And that was the one reason why I really wanted to have a conversation with Walker. I didn't want to get up here and be like, hey, bro, so what happened, bro?
Yeah.
And I think we should. And I think, hey, but okay, so where we at here? So we had about an hour and 10, hour and 15 minutes. So we got two more.
My bad.
I know, man. No, that don't matter, man. Good conversation is a good conversation. So we got two more questions left. I'm not going to speed through it. I'm not going to rush through it. Nothing, everything happens for a reason. It's a reason why me and you are still sitting here talking right now. So, so number 6, what we have here was player development versus the win at all cost mentality.
Ooh,
that's we've hit on it a couple of times as we had conversations, but I think okay, now this is my breakdown, because I've been working on instructional guides for age groups. So I have 5 through 8U, 9U through 11U, and then 11U all the way to 13, 14, right? So for me, it's a transition. I feel like the babies is 100% fun. Like it's 100% fun. Get them to fall in love with it. Get them to fall in love with the game, right? So you can keep them. And then once you get them at about 8, make it a little serious. 8, 9. Then once they get 10, 11, make it a little bit more serious. Once they hit middle school, make it serious. Make it to where okay, this is what's going on. And
they got 3 years.
In my story, I mean in my courses, I always talk about these young male athletes like, the dating progression, the maturity progression. When they're little babies, they don't care about girls at all. When they're at that middle stage, they know they should care about girls a little bit, but they still don't care about them. But they know it's there. You know what I mean? They know it's there. Once they hit that middle school, 7th, 8th grade, and they trying to pretend they way. So I want to teach them how to hone in on it at the right stages. I feel like when you got them 6-year-old kids and you cussing them out, it don't be it. So okay, I got a story for you, and this isn't to bash anybody program. This is really just to big up my own program. Last year, I had a 6U team that had 12 kids. We had 13 kids, right? And we had played a certain team that were loaded. They had, they had a team. They had some guys. And we played them the first time, blew us out. Played them the second time, blew us out. We showed up in the Super Bowl. Now, mind you, every time we lost a game, we got better. We got more efficient. I'm only working with I'm not the coach, but I help out here and there whenever I could. And I'm telling the coach, keep it simple, run the same play all day and let them perfect it. They showed up at the Super Bowl and played the same team, and they were in the lead almost the whole game. And I told the coach, if you get, and this was my thing, with 6U football, and this is a nugget. This is a nugget for everybody. If you're coaching
Go
babies,
ahead, drop it, drop it.
once you get the lead, you have to keep the lead and slow the game down and watch the other coaches panic and watch the
Yep.
other coaches start yelling at their kids. And once they start yelling at them babies, they're going to quit. They're going to tap out. They're not going to play as hard anymore. They're going to be crying. And when kids are crying and whining and mad, they're not going to play well. Now,
It's
I'm not
over.
telling you for you to go out there and start making kids cry.
Make
Let the
baby cry.
coaches do what they've been doing, yelling and pointing and this, that. They're disappointed. So when you run against those teams that's out there yelling and doing this and doing that, make sure they don't intimidate your babies. And make sure your babies just go out there and play their game, and you let them know, once we score, we're going to win the game. And that is exactly what happened. We jumped on them, got a touchdown. They came back and couldn't score. Then we got the ball back and scored again. And all
Oh,
the
that's
coaches
it.
like, what the da 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 da, and they da 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 da. Kids start crying. The parents is mad because they didn't beat us twice. We only got 13 kids. They got 30 kids. They got a whole sideline, brand new uniforms. And we came out with the W. Came out with the W. It
That's
was
what's
so
up.
many mad people, man. It was so many mad people. And it's my my commissioner, Coach Rich. He's actually been coaching. I want to say he's been coaching. He has to be like on year 15, 14. He has to be around those years. And for him to be a president, a commissioner before, he's ran an organization before, he's been coaching for all these years, that was his first Super Bowl.
Oh,
That was his first one. That was his first one, and I was so proud of him for winning that. And then he won one the next year, the next week, because he had two teams, so he won back to back his first year go round. But it was
what was his
just
other age group?
he had I think they were no, they were 11U. No, they were 10U last
Okay,
year. They were 10U last year. They were 10U last
okay,
year, and
that's
there was
dope.
11 this year. And oh man, it was just an amazing feeling. I praised them so much. I said, man, good job, but the patience of it. But that win at all cost mentality
Yeah, yeah.
is, oh man, I just don't know. What do you think, man? I kind of took the question, but
Nah, nah, nah,
what?
nah. You gave. I mean, you already gave the good detail. I don't have to really say much more. I don't think nothing. I don't think nothing should ever be win at all costs. I think you win,
Mm,
even if you feel you're to that statement. I think you need to win with understanding.
yes.
And I give this nugget away all the time. Like you said, not bigging up the program, but I've I don't care about rings and trophies because I probably got at least 27 of each. Like dead serious, from national championship to Super Bowl to Super Bowl to Super Bowl, right? But with that, what I've learned on how to build winning cultures is I tell everybody I'm around this. Winning is a byproduct of development.
Yes.
It's no way you don't get that if you focus on the development. You know
Mm-hmm.
what I mean? You can have one without the other, but you can have an extremely talented team and you just have
Yes.
extremely
Yeah.
talented players that can go. But more than likely, longevity and the recipe is if I focus on development and I make this guard better, if I teach this D tackle all the gaps, and if I teach my linebacker how to scrape, if I teach my DB what zone turn, man turn, how to exchange routes, if I teach them that to the T, if I teach them discipline, how to shift to overloads, if I teach and I develop all these kids, because development isn't just playing. Because you could play and not be taught nothing and go backwards, right? I can say, hey, take the ball, run right, and they get tons of touchdowns and tons of
Oh
reps. But
man.
I'm saying, hey, line up, just hike the ball to James, let him run right. Hey, sweep right, sweep. You can do that, but that still don't equal development because you're on the field 24/7.
Yeah.
Development is that player learns a deeper aspect of the game, more of the details in the game, so they leave that season 10 times better than they were before.
Yes.
Now,
Yes.
where that argument comes in is like Well, do you do that in practice versus do you do that in games? That's where the argument comes. So that I do
Yeah.
understand the argument, but back to what I was saying, if you focus on that development, then everybody get to play because you coached
Mhm.
everybody. So you will win because when your twos come in, they're going to be the same. They don't drop. Maybe
It's
they don't
not a
have the
drop
same
off.
physical. Yeah, maybe they don't have the same physical attributes, they don't have the same eye test, but that linebacker still knows he has the B gap and he's gonna even if he don't make the big hit, he's gonna grab them ankles and slow him down, and the other linebacker gonna scrape because they've been taught that. And now they're
Yes.
developed, so when they go to high school, they can speak that language. You can have a kid that scored 50 touchdowns in youth football. He get to high school and they say, hey, okay, we running 26 power and he running to the left.
Yeah. Yeah. And they
Like
like,
that, okay,
where
yeah,
did you play again?
you had all that, all those plays and reps and touchdowns, but you weren't development. So back to my
Yeah.
point, I think if you focus on development, you win because you don't have no drop off. Your team is disciplined, you build a different culture, and you do those players a service because they win later. And then we have to say, what is winning, Dunlap? Is winning that trophy and ring, or is winning like sending 16 players who are now Division 1 athletes? What's winning?
Yeah.
What is really winning? But yes, um, I now on the flip side, no flip side. And to add to that, when you are playing in national ball, you play in national league, yeah, the competition is higher and the expectation is higher. But I don't think you stop the development. I think now you have a higher expectation for development because you're playing against other teams and other coaches
Mm.
who not gonna
Yeah.
just run something random. They're not just, hey, I like this play. They're gonna look at the scheme and see what defense they in, what front, where the defense is gonna be looking at, okay, it's a 21 personnel versus 11. We need to put this team in. That's what you get a little bit more in national ball. I think the only difference with that is I don't think it's about who you play. That's where the unfortunate part is. I do think it's about who you pick for the team.
Yes.
That's the
Yeah.
only part where it's different because you cannot not develop a national ball. You can't just have
Yeah.
somebody who's just out there not knowing where they're going. But I think the difference with that is it's not win at all costs. It's more of having a team that has a little bit more position to win because of who you take on. And people don't
Yeah.
like that part, right? They don't like that part. And oh, you get back. Oh, you should be able to take everybody. You ain't a real coach. No, that's not true. I'm not gonna set
No.
nobody up for failure. You can't.
Yeah.
I can develop everybody, but we're not gonna be naive to what they're about to be going up against, right?
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
just a difference. But nah, man. No, I think you have to be honest with players and coaches before, and then you got to be honest with yourself. Are you really developing? Because if you develop, then everybody's going to be able to play. Now, you might have some packages where certain kids work better than others, but development should always be the goal. And if development is the goal, Dunlap, you gonna win.
You
I
gonna
don't care
win.
who you
Yeah.
are.
Yeah. You
I
gonna
don't care.
win.
I don't care what league you is. I don't care what team it is. If the school of the blind has five linemen who, no matter what front, they know who to down block, who to trap, who to kick out. I don't care how talented they are. And a running back has a read and he knows who to read, and they could check a play based on what the defense is doing. That offense is gonna be successful. If
Yes.
you got, I don't care what age division, if you got a 12U team to where, if I don't care if a team running a no huddle, they know how to shift and bump and know every gap they responsible for.
Yeah.
They know how to wall, your outside linebackers know how to take their run step, wall the defender and look for the next person and route exchange with the DBs. If
Mm.
you develop them to do that, I don't care what you at, that team is going to win. And
Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
just been my standpoint. Like we talked about earlier, am I saying that is the answer for everything? No, that's Coach Walker's perspective. Coach
Yes.
Walker's perspective is if you develop everybody, you're going to win. Can I add a wrinkle to that? What I've learned is it's also developing your coaches.
Mm-hmm.
So if your coaches know how to coach their position, they know how to actually install, and you don't got one man running the show, everybody is rotating people, and I leave it up to them to make sure that their position group is ready to go, they can execute, and you run it more like a high school. You bring that to youth football, you should win.
Yeah.
That's my take, but I'm sorry, I just went on my standpoint, is there
No,
anything in
it's true.
specific that you had with the question? Like anything maybe you was like, okay, I hear that, but I was mainly talking about this. But that's just my perspective. But if you have more of what you were looking for that question, that's my standpoint on that, is develop everybody because you're
Yeah,
going to need them. I don't care, and especially if you on D2 or you local, then you really got to work on development because you want
yeah,
to get them ready. If somebody is D2, it's like that doesn't mean they're not a good football player. That means their knowledge of the game isn't there. So you have the higher responsibility. I
yeah.
loved it. I went D1 when national, dropped back down and coached a D2 team for 2 years. 2 years. Well, 1 year D2 and then the next year we were D1 local but D2 national. Loved it. Because I'm
Yeah,
like, oh my God, if we pay attention to detail with these kids, although we're D2, look what's gonna happen. We in natties. So
yeah,
that's my take on it. That's my feeling on it, and that's where it's at from the coach's perspective. From the parent, I never thought about answering that from the parent perspective. We already had 1032, but from a
No,
parent
you good. You
perspective,
good.
from a parent perspective, I think they choose differently. You know what I mean? I would tell
Yeah.
the parents the same thing, but sometimes the parents want instant gratification. They don't care about the development. They want the ring. They want to say, my son's a champion. We are
Mm-hmm.
this, you know, and not knocking them. That's okay. Maybe sometimes a lot of people, my perspective is different. I've been blessed to, before I coached this game, to accomplish a lot. I've been blessed to be a Division 1 athlete, professional athlete, a high level coach. I've been blessed to do that. So that's not the need for me. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? I don't have to do that. So it's some stuff I can't relate to, but that don't mean I don't understand. Because some of them like, hey, I want my son to get confident and be a part of a championship team to learn the mentality and then work on that later. To each his own, but for a parent perspective, you got to think about what does development look like, because I think that word is tossed a lot.
yeah.
Because here's the only thing that where I don't want to say I disagree with. I'll say I go back and forth, coach, and I say it's case by case, Dunlap. Like, do you want to be on a championship team and not play, or do you want
Mm.
to go on an okay team and play a lot? Here's where I go back and forth. I'm okay with development, but I think that comes in defining what development is. And that's what I
Yeah,
said earlier. That championship team, you might be 1B or you might be a 2, but that 1 year on that team, you go back to another team or something else. Now you're 1A with high school preparation. You're
yes,
1A with the ability to read a defense. You're 1A with the ability to run the offense properly and know your holes, your route tree, your zones, what's a down block, what's a trap, who's a one shade, who's a five shade. That is valuable in my
yeah.
perspective if you want to go the long way. Now, if you can find both, then okay. If
That's
you can
great.
find
Yeah,
maybe they're if you can find both to where, hey, you about to get everything and they may not be super winning, but it's great coaching and you're gonna get all the rest. That actually is great. But a lot of the times, not a lot, because some people do just got a lot of good talent. But
yeah.
sometimes these championship programs and championship teams are that way for a reason.
Mm-hmm.
They're that way for a reason. Those
Man,
those players or
we
parents want to go there because they see the difference. So they're that way for a reason.
man in our area, man. There's a lot of football programs in our area, and a lot of times we catch a lot of flack because man, we start training in January, February as a chapter. We start going out there 1-2 days a week, and everybody be looking like, why y'all
You
start
doing it.
so early? Because we have a certain standard. Because we
There you go.
understand that it takes time, and people wonder why we have so much success, and it's not because we have all the talent. That's not it. We create the talent. That's the thing. We create the talent. Yes, talent is there, but you gotta mold it. You know what I mean? You gotta mold it. All the kids can't.
Yes.
They all the any kid. And my whole thing is this, man. As a coach, my job is to be able to teach a kid to do a job. I just need you to
Yep.
I just need if I can I feel like as a coach I can teach any kid how to do one thing to benefit the team. And that's it as a coach. Some kids can do one, some kids can do 20. But my job is to make sure you can do something that can benefit the team. And since we're on and that's sort of like my coaching standard, right? My coaching standard, my
Yeah.
philosophy is smart kid. Like I have a whole system. It's called the smart kid system. And you kind of hit on the head, kind of the same thing. Having 11 smart kids on the field that can adjust based on what that grown man is doing over there. They can adjust on
Yep.
the field without me telling them. You know,
That's it.
without me, we was working on that today. Without me telling you to run a stick route because the linebackers are blitzing right in front of you, Mr. Slot Receiver. You shouldn't just run to the safety that's 10 yards off of you. Just turn around and look for the ball. We
Yep.
should know that. I shouldn't have to say check, 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 blah, 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 blah. You should just be like, said, make eye contact and be like, we know it. Go and do it. That's where it needs to
Yep.
be. So question 7, it says coaching standards. Are your coaching standards. And then let us know your coaching standards and let us know, are you walking what you talk? Are you really out like your coaching standards as a coach that you want your team to do, how you want them to represent you and how you want them to represent
Ooh.
their families? Are you, Coach Walker, really doing the work to make sure that happens for you and your babies as a whole? I mean, I can answer that for you, but go ahead. I mean,
um. Hey, hey, I'm gonna be real with you. I almost rather have you answer first because people's sensitivity. Like, I don't want to. I don't
I
want to be like. I don't want to big up
no,
myself like that.
I feel like you are doing a wonderful job with these kids. I feel like even
Why
with the
can I say
decision to
this?
go to the Ducks,
Yeah,
right? I feel like even your decision to go with the Ducks, it kind of threw people a little bit because of what
I know what
people
I
may
did
think.
previously. Yeah,
They may think of what the Ducks represent and how that may not represent your brand as a person. And they're just
correct.
like, well, where's that contrast? But, taking it to a religious standpoint is, all churches aren't in good areas.
I'm about to talk about that. Go ahead.
All coaches, all churches aren't in good areas. They're all not, in Beverly Hills on top of a mountain somewhere. You need to go in there and grab the ones that need to come. You got to go get them to come. You can't just stand out and point from the outside. Sometimes you got to fix things from within, and not knowing the reason. That's kind of what I got from you doing that. You probably wanted
Yeah,
to you probably wanted to show something like that. And this isn't a conversation that me and you've never talked about this before. Like
right.
we've never, because even when you made that decision, I was like, nah, they lying. They ain't no way, bro. They
Yeah,
ain't
I
no
know.
way. And then I was like, well, okay, they right, bro. That's what it is, man. Like, hey, that's cool for them. I mean, that's a great stage for those kids as long as it's done the right way. And you know what I'm saying. And now you put it's like, and I hate to say it like this because I'm not, and I'm not saying that the Ducks is a bad organization or that it's a dirty organization or it's the hood organization. That's not what I'm trying to say. What I'm trying to say is like this: if I am a entrepreneur
Hmm.
and my cousin makes money a certain way,
Yeah, yeah.
and my cousin says, I'm about to give you this so you can do that, and I go and do that. That's how I feel like you put that machine, you put your machine on top of their machine, and now you're the driver of both of the machines. That's kind of how I took it, but I'm gonna let you go ahead and explain your side, not my opinion. Your
So
pers-
I'll
your
I'm going to explain my side definitely from all the positive points, and then I'm going to add how do I feel my mission is being accomplished because it was a mission, right? So to start, yeah, you went off that head on the net. Everybody is shocked, like, wait a minute. And I'm not saying there's nothing, there's talented kids, but a lot of people was like, oh, they supported me great at 8U and 9U because they was like, wow, Walker, you built something from nothing. You know what I mean? And this team is going well disciplined, coach, talented, like positive, doing all of this stuff and winning everything. And I think like it wasn't about winning, right? I blew out the organization that I'm now coaching for. but it wasn't just me. It was multiple people. It was multiple coaches and another great organization. And, we kind of all built that together. But my goal has never been just winning, right?
Yeah.
We could have still been there and won again and won. Even now, I get texts from people over there, family, even coaches, like, "Hey, man, you stupid. You was like they joking, but if you was still here,
Yeah.
we blowing this team out, it wouldn't even be close." Yeah, you're absolutely
Yeah.
right. But I wanted more than that. I wanted more for my son. I didn't want him to just, hey, doing this and ruin. I wanted him to be challenged and come, to the national stage, not to be seen, to be challenged. I'm
Yeah.
not the parent that want 50 touchdowns a game, but I also, um, that team, the place I was at before is still good because it wasn't just me. It's a culture that was built and they're still great. So it's not
Yeah.
hurting them. But at the same time, it's, you hit it. It's other people who, like you said, it's not a bad organization, but are capable of doing a lot more. They just need some guidance,
Yes.
right? And that's how I grew up. When other things were happening and the opportunity presented itself, my heart was pulled that way heavy because, like, everybody look at me now, but I wasn't that way before. One of the biggest testimonies of my story, other than God changing my life, was that, in the absentee of my father, a coach did everything for me. He didn't let me just be a talent. He made me be a student. And I went to college and I got it for free when my mom couldn't afford it. And
Mm-hmm.
he made an everlasting impact. My high school coach, shout out to Coach G. By the way, everybody was telling me, you don't never say his name, Coach G. That's my guy. But on and I want to have that impact. And I think the hard part for people is when you're doing something good, you do something good for somebody, they should just want you to do it from them. But I feel the grace that's put on my life is to do it for everybody. You know what I mean? Like,
Mm-hmm.
dang, I don't want to get too biblical, but it's to do it for everybody and to help out everybody. Um, and then it's not just for like a talent or exposure. That's easy to post and do that because it's not even exposure, it's just social media hype, and that's easy to do. That's just posting and tagging, having the right people. It's for none of that. Um, I just wanted to make an impact and show that we could build and build something right, and having that challenge, having that responsibility. I wanted that. I
Yeah.
wanted that challenge. I wanted that. And I wanted not just the stage. The stage can come wherever, you know what I mean? I've blessed to have a resume where the stage is going to come. If I went to Pop Warner right now, stage still going to follow, right?
Yeah.
It wasn't that. It was actual competition. Look, I mean, look who we played, man. We didn't play the number one team in the country.
Yeah, and they
We
looked
played
like
the
it too.
number. Oh, they
They
are.
looked like they had some dudes, and they all stood behind those two dudes, like, and it was crazy. And
Correct.
then when they it's crazy when they gave the ball to somebody else. It's not like they were bad, you
No, they
know.
all great.
It's not like they were bad.
No, they're. I'm gonna tell you, I just scouted. They're all great. And look, even
Yeah.
after us, there's still been nobody to score as many points on them as we did, even with our
Mm,
quarterback getting hurt in the first half, right? And we fought to the end. But that's what I wanted, that type of adversity. We didn't. Oh, we lost. Now everybody quit. No, I set the expectation. So that's what we're gonna talk about. My mission. I set the expectation and what we were doing and what our end goal is I want to go undefeated. I don't want to lose no game, but
yeah.
we also know what we're working towards and what our end goal is. We cleaning up a lot of stuff. We showing the different examples, and it wasn't for talent. I still want to develop players. I didn't come over here with a whole bunch of superstars, and sometimes even the kids with names don't necessarily know what they're doing and they haven't been coached up. A lot of times that's the problem is these kids got a name and they were used for their talent. But I'm like, imagine if they had a
Yes.
dedicated coaching staff to really not be like, hey, he good, give him the ball, but let's teach him the game. What could you really
Yeah.
be? And now here we are playing a number one, and we playing a number three team in the country with these boys who just came together, and we down by four with 2 minutes left. You see what
Mm-hmm.
I'm saying? It's like those are the reasons, and the mission was to take these kids outside of just California ball to show them bigger picture and open up their dreams. You
Yeah.
know, to show them that, hey, there's more to the game than just battling, hitting, and highlights. Hey, learn the game, but look at the reward of learning the game. Don't look at these other teams as their superstars. You can compete with them, because I don't think a lot of people don't realize I didn't take over a ready-made Ducks team. like,
No. Yeah.
like
Yeah.
not I didn't take over a team that just went undefeated and was even ranked in the top 10. No, it wasn't no takeover. We built this. Like I would say 75 to 80% of our starters didn't play there last year.
Mm.
And now that's on the team, only four came with me. So we building something and we building the right expectation to succeed on and off the field. And the Ducks always been like that, but I would say specifically for what our team is doing, it may be a little bit of a new culture for the area for the expectation. But
Yes.
like in anything, the same way that us as grown men, we get our life right, we want to do something, and God is patient with us. It's a process to it though. It's not overnight. And when
Yeah.
you ask me, do you think I'm walking that walk? Absolutely, because I have my understanding of the expectation. I
Yes.
knew what I was going into, and I'm up for the challenge. And I love the strides our team has made. No, not because we the number. Hey, I heard they bumped us up at the last game, but not because of. I throw that out there. Not because we're arguably a top five team in the world, in the country, right? That's not where I'm talking about the strides. I'm talking about the camaraderie of the families. I'm talking about the teamwork. I'm talking about the support system. I'm talking about a person who was a guy on another team where a family would have quit because they wasn't getting the amount of carries. Now they're supporting each other.
Yeah.
Um, that's so you asked me about my mission. Do I feel like I'm doing it? Absolutely, yes. I'm preaching culture to these kids. We preaching teamwork. Uh, there's a different kid that has to pray out every night. When we first started and before we got in the pads, it was like everybody now they're asking me, "Is it my turn? Hey, coach,
Yeah.
is it
Yeah.
my
Yeah.
turn?" You know what I mean? I love that. Having parents giving me reports of, "Hey, thank you. This was the best decision. I was nervous about coming over here." Because when I first came over, it was a whole bunch of negativity that followed, right? It was a lot. Coaches didn't want their
Mm-hmm.
parents. And I'm not just talking about people think I'm talking about from where I came from. No, I'm not talking about that. I'm talking other teams in LA and Long Beach and Arizona. That was
Yeah.
like you said, combining what I do with a brand like that. It was a lot of people wasn't happy. A lot of coaches wasn't
Yeah.
happy, right? So, now parents like, oh my God, I thought it was this. I love it. And from what I'm seeing, yeah, you can talk about, the winning and the success of the team. That's cool. But that wasn't just my mission. It's seeing these kids smile, seeing these kids come together and build a bond and a brotherhood, seeing them change their expectation. I can't give details, but seeing players that came from other places that didn't really know the game talking football now and excited and having parents impressed like, oh, you
Man.
really could coach. You really could
Yeah.
coach. Well, what did
Oh,
you
you
think?
you coaching?
Like what did you think? Like, and it's not just
Yeah.
me. Even the previous years, I had a staff full of guys who we all were coaching, and I'm not knocking our babies, but we built those babies in 3 years. Like somebody who played on the team that I was with previously before was like, hey, this they played against that team and hit me like, hey, that team is good. Man, they disciplined. Yeah. I was like, they've been together before me, and I was blessed to coach them for 2.5 years. And they only built on that. That's a great team, but it was built.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It was built. And now, doing the same thing over here, I'm loving it, and I'm loving the build. I mean, even the impact of the culture, even the other coaches from the other team, they come around and they respect it. They be like, oh, no, oh, don't say that. The preacher right
Yeah.
there,
Yeah.
right? Let's
Yeah.
not
Yeah.
do that.
Yeah.
Like, I love it. They do respect it, and even if they're used to their atmosphere, I see the small wins. Like people expecting, and they hate when I do this, and I don't want to do this, but like when Dion first went to Jackson State, it wasn't an immediate change, but there was. The culture started changing, the following
Mm-hmm.
started changing, the expectations started changing, and then it happened. The first year he went to Colorado, it was okay. It's stages. You know what I mean? It's the first
Yeah.
time. What's his name just took over modern day, right? The
Yes. Yes.
expectation was. Let's talk about that. So there ain't no comparison like I'm comparing myself. So when he took over modern day, it's like okay, what is it going to be like? It was steps and stages, and then a success, followed. But my success isn't just, and that's what I'm fighting for, and that's why I'm glad you still have me on, even after some other stuff that transpired, because that doesn't mean that my mission isn't succeeding. It's
Yeah.
steps.
1,000%.
When?
Wait a minute. You froze up for a second.
Uh-oh.
Hold on.
I
Wait
think
a
I'm
minute. You
gone.
said no. I can hear you now. You said there's steps, and then you
Oh, I'm
froze.
gone. Okay, I'm froze. I thought I was gone. I'm back.
Yeah, you
My
good
bad.
now.
But
You good.
the steps wasn't just, hey, go win a national championship. That was my goal last year, right?
Yeah.
But over here was like, hey, let's build a winning culture with a positive environment, with development in this
Yeah.
area and on this platform, and use it to show that it can be done and be an example. So
Yeah.
now, people trying to take individual situation, be like, well, that's a great example. No, no, because if I truthfully believe, if I wasn't here, there would be a lot of things that was a lot worse, and it's not because there's mutual respect. Yeah, and that's not knocking either side of anything, but I
Mm-hmm.
didn't got that confirmed from multiple people on multiple sides, right?
Oh yeah.
If
Yeah.
if I if if I wasn't here, things would be a lot worse, but it's not because of mutual respect. And regardless if, men like to be men or, there's other things surrounding the program, it's really not a lot of bad, but there is progress and there is change and there is respect for what we're trying to build with these babies. And the biggest shocker to me is I also want to build something that California could get behind. And regardless if they don't say it openly, there's a lot of DMs in Texas saying, "Man, I really respect what you're doing. Hey, I really like
Yes.
that." Hey, same thing you kind of said right now. I was shocked because you was doing such an unexpected thing over there, you know, like we don't see you fit in there. And you're right. Maybe you didn't, but you got to understand my mission. It's bigger than
Mm-hmm.
that, and it's bigger than just winning and being successful. It's let's impact some lives, bro. And I'm not saying those other babies didn't deserve it.
Yeah.
They
Yeah.
did
Yeah.
too.
Yeah.
But they're also surrounded with still a great staff of great men setting an example.
Yeah.
Still, they still have great men around them that set an example, that's coaching them up right. So they still in good hands. I just seen the opportunity to help more, you know,
Yeah.
and it's turning out to be the best. And I'm really, I want to, say thank you to a lot of the people who in the DMs. Like I don't got to share that stuff, but it's a lot of coaches from almost every program. It might not be my same age level because some of them is hard,
Yeah.
but some of it is at my age level too. Like they respect it. Like, hey, I respect what you building, bro. Like I didn't think it was gonna be like this, and it's good. I didn't think all these people's gonna play each other, but it's good, and I respect it. I see what you're doing, and I'm doing my own thing, but I like it. That's from my old age level. But from others, they like, hey man, keep going. I know you're taking a lot of flack, but keep going. Like people like, oh, why are you getting a lot of haters? No, no, no. It's
Yeah.
more, it's more success, it's more people who supporting than it is haters. Just the haters are,
Hating.
or the
Yeah.
people who don't like it. I don't want to call them haters. The people who don't agree or don't like the move that was made, they're just louder. And the people who are
Mm.
supporting, they're in the DMs, they're in the text
Yeah.
message, they in the, hey coach, I'm
Well,
checking on you. That's how it
people
is. And it's but I
people
like it.
hear people hear negativity louder. It's like they ears tune into negativity much greater. So like for
Yeah.
example, like you guys this game, when you guys were playing, I was playing. I mean, I was coaching. So I didn't see the game live. So by the time I was done coaching, the only thing I seen was that's crazy. That's
Yep.
crazy. This happened. That
Yep.
happened. So
Yep.
I'm like, what happened? So all I did was go in and I went straight to the end. I think I told you this. I went
To the
straight to
end.
the end
Yep.
and I was just
Yeah.
like, well, what happened? I said, oh yeah. Oh, oh
Yeah.
yeah. You get what I'm saying? So, and
Yep.
I think
Yep.
that's just how negativity works. Like my plan was to watch the games. Like I do. And a lot of people don't even know this. Like I'm a fan of football. If football's not on, I'm gonna go find a youth game that I didn't watch and I'm gonna sit there and watch it and I'll be sitting there talking about the offense. I'm gonna be like, man, if coach just ran this, I'll do this. If blah
Yeah.
blah blah did this, I did this. And that's just how I operate with certain things. And just another nugget too for anybody that's interested in getting into coaching. Just know once you get into coaching, just like once you get into anything, you may or may not enjoy it the same way because you get to see everything of it. It's sort of like
Yeah.
musicians. Like they love music, but when they go to a concert, they're like, oh, the levels is messed up. Oh, she can't play
Yeah.
the piano that good. Ooh, she ain't hitting the right
That's the
octave on
wrong
that thing.
note.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like it's you think about it differently. So just think about that before you get into anything. Just know you may not love it for its totality like you really do. You're gonna appreciate the other little stuff about it. But man, I appreciate you being on the show tonight, man. I know it's a little promptu. We just threw it out there. We sitting at 2 hours. That's amazing, bro. Like that's amazing. Like we got 2 hours, and this is what I'm telling people. Oh yeah, Monet said, you're a different type of coach for the Ducks culture. Many can learn from you.
Appreciate
She put that in the comments.
I do, I appreciate that. I'm trying, not saying I'm trying to say, hey, everybody need to learn from me. I'm not trying to tell people what to do. I'm just trying my hardest to lead by example. I'm not perfect, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I told her, just because I don't cuss at the kids, don't mean I'm the perfect coach. Don't mean I don't yell.
Yeah.
Don't mean I don't
Yeah.
turn up. And I don't always make the right call. I don't always make the right decision, but I pride myself on fighting to make the right decision, even if I don't feel
Yes.
like it.
Yeah.
Having a change, I have to think about my response before it happens. That's why you won't never catch me talking negativity, because I have to consider the influence that I have. And that's why I'm
Yeah.
there. I'm trying to use my influence to change a culture. I've talked to multiple, I'm talking from 4 to 9U coaches, like, hey, at our facility, like, hey, I like that. Hey, how you do that? Oh, I'm gonna run that. Oh, I see how y'all practicing. And I glean from them too. Is I'm not the superstar coach over there, bro. There's a lot of others that has made me better. There's the big bros that come down and help a position coach. And I love that
Mm-hmm.
culture that's there. And before, I want to clear something up too. Not bad, but it was like that before I got there. But like you just
Yes.
said, Dunlap, a lot of clickbait. And it has to be done, right? It's a lot of clickbait. And then there's a lot of people looking for a reason to say, see, Ducks ain't that good. See, Coach
Yep.
Walker not really
Yeah.
perfect. He
Yep.
don't got that.
Yep.
Or see,
Yep.
yeah, they win in championships, but it's like that. They're looking for everybody,
It's
not
just
it's
because
some people.
they got all the good kids. They got all the good kids, and that's
Yep.
all. That's the only reason why they ain't
Yeah.
coaching. They not coaching. They just got all the good kids. Julian and the twins from San Diego says hi.
Oh, what's up? That's my
Yeah.
guy. That's my guy, man.
Yeah.
That's my guy. That's like one of the people, like, and that's another thing. These people don't play for me or play for me anymore, but I take pride in keeping those relationships, and I'm always an open door. If they don't want to come, it ain't no, oh, forget you, nothing like that. I'm gonna reach out.
Yeah. Yeah.
Even every team we play, win, lose, or draw, there's some family, there's some coaches I stay connected to, because that's the platform and the opportunity we have. And I think
Yes.
some people,
Yes.
it's hard for them to fathom that I really feel that way, because like, maybe they don't, or they seen other coaches, or they don't know me, or maybe they seen a flaw that I have in another area or something. They like, nah, he can't beat. No, that is, that
Yeah.
is. I don't, I don't,
Oh,
I don't want no problem with nobody.
so I just it's another comment just popped on, man. It's Bose. So big Bozeman, man. Our big little Bozeman, man. It's just my man's, man. He one of the best receivers I had in youth ball going into high school, and I think he
That's
was one.
major for you to
And
say that.
tell me, and you got to tell me if I was wrong or not. But I think he ended up being one of the top. I want to say top 10, top 15 freshman receivers. I think in California, like this year, he go to John Muir, like great athlete, like. He gonna shock a lot of people. Like
That's fire.
he's a how can I describe him? He's a smooth runner. I'll say that.
I see what you're saying. I see, yeah,
He has track speed, but he's a smooth runner. Like
yeah,
you don't hear him coming. You're not gonna hear him
yeah,
coming. You're
yeah,
gonna feel him coming. And he's not like a little jitter or twitchy. But he gon'
yeah.
once he get going, he's out of there. He's out of there, man. But shout out to my man. But yeah, man. Like I said, man, I appreciate you jumping on the show. I'm gonna
Yes, sir.
inside of the Facebook chat. I'm going to put the link to the YouTube. If anybody is still in here, man, I'm trying to build up the YouTube side of things, because that's going to be at the end of the day, that's going to be the more interactive way to do a lot of
Yeah,
things, like the comments popping up and things like that. And I drop videos and courses and things like that. Man, if y'all can, just please go over there and like the video, leave a comment, probably subscribe to the channel. Appreciate it. Like I said, I appreciate you for coming on. And you got the floor. If you wanted to say anything else before you
Nah, man,
depart,
I
or if you
just
wanted to talk about something or say anything, it's on you. You got it.
man, we didn't been on here for I think we didn't been on here for 2 hours enough, so I think we probably covered enough. I always say I'm always open. I do want to say that for coaches, there's a lot of coaches that talk to me. You ain't hear me drop no names. Coaches, ever any got any questions on anything? Why you do this? How you do this? Man, it's an open door, man. I feel, like I call it like David's grace. I don't know if y'all know the Bible. There's a man named David, and a man tried to pour out oil on all other people, but it was only meant for him. I don't mind sharing game because I don't think that take away from anything that I'm doing. What's meant for me is
Mm,
meant for me. So,
yeah.
if you want anybody want any insight on anything from building to offense to defense to team to mentoring to anything, training, you know what I mean? I'm blessed to where I train kids, I coach kids, I develop kids, I pastor kids. So anything that has to do with kids, youth, family, sports, I'm an open door. I don't even got to know you. Hey, coach, I got this question. You know what I mean? Hit me up on Instagram or Facebook or something like that. I'm definitely open for that. And last, just um, yeah, man, I'm following a lot of good coaches. You know what I mean? I always have somebody I look up to and I talk to. But I do think us all as coaches, parents, man, I think if we really do it, we could do something impactful to not save, I'll just say help and upgrade
Yes.
youth sports in general. I think we can all come together. Like we say it, we say it, we say it, but we got platforms like Coach Dunlap's platforms and people like Coach Dunlap that we can connect with to try to get a positive message. And let's not feed in to the negative part and talk about problems without talking about the solutions. Like
Yes.
it's okay to mention the problem, but I think we need to focus on creating solutions, right? Just like we tell kids, if you got a dream, if you got a dream or a goal without a plan, it's just a dream. But you got to put a plan. So we need to come up with solutions for everything. I'm open to it. But man, that's my mission, not just a Ducks things, but a youth football thing. Like let's really do it. And that's gonna take some sacrifices. That's gonna take a lot of coming together. But man, it's a bigger impact. And the crazy part is this
Yeah.
person watching, the coach watching, you could be a part of that and look back and be like, it was hard. I had to make some tough decisions. I had to put my pride aside. But look now. So that's my mission, man. I'm a part of that. That's something I'm adamant about. It's not gonna be perfect. It's gonna be a process. But I really feel that we could put a lot of stuff to the side and do that together. Pleasure being on here, Coach Dunlap, man. I was honored. I was like, whoa, he talking about putting me on the podcast? He talking about me?
Yeah. Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
I was honored,
Man.
man, because I respect what you do. I respect your impact. And yeah, man, I'm just trying to follow suit like the other giants in the game, man. I'm just trying to follow
Yeah.
suit, leave a lasting impact. So thank you for having me. You ever have anything else? I definitely want to do it. I'm gonna be listening to Jabari's one because, I'm not saying I'm the greatest coach and I'm not saying my son is the best, but I've been leaning on him on like how is it when you a pretty decent coach and your son's a great athlete and
Yeah.
you don't want to like let people blur those lines. So I can't wait to listen to that episode. Make sure everybody else go listen to that. I'm a fan, man. So thank you and pleasure being on.
Appreciate you 1,000%. I will have you on because one of the next shows coming up is I'm gonna have a group. It'll be probably me,
Oh,
you, Jabari. I'm trying to get Chris Williams. I'm trying to get
yep,
Champ. I'm trying to get a couple of other
yeah,
guys that got guys so we can really have that real conversation about daddy ball. You know what I mean? Like, oh, daddy
yeah,
ball. You know what I'm saying? So, man, like I said, I appreciate you 1,000%. I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna let you go and I'm gonna close everything out, man. But like I
peace
said,
out.
we gonna have you on the show many, many more times. So just be prepared. Keep your phone charged up. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I will.
You'll
All
be
right,
good,
coach,
man.
man. You have a good night, man.
All right, you too, man. Have a good one. All right, y'all. So that's the end of the show for tonight, man. I know it was pretty much a long show. I appreciate everybody for coming in, tuning in. The height that we seen today, the height number that we seen was 97 people. So that's the height number that we seen today. Like I said, I want to get that over 100. I want to keep that consistent, and I want to keep it fun. I want to keep it knowledgeable. I want to be able to kick knowledge to everybody. I want to be able to educate people, and I want to give a platform for great coaches and great men in the community. Like I said, it's a Monday night. Hopefully everybody gets some sleep. Y'all have a blessed week. Coach Dunlap signing out. TGB, Hearts and Helmets. Man, we having fun over here.